Hello, 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 hello there. Welcome to Current Situation Media. Hello, hello, hello there. Welcome to Current Situation Media. I'm your host, Mr. Vincent A.J. Host Training. Go ahead and join us tonight. We will have the president of the Liberian Association of Iowa, Mr. Valiaku Karbo, will be joining us here to speak to the Liberian people. So go ahead and tune in here. Thank you guys for tuning in here. Go ahead and share this live here. Mr. Valiaku Karbo will be coming on shortly to speak to the Liberian people of Iowa. Today is Friday. Happy Friday to you all. Hope you are doing well. You and your families are doing well, well, well. Yes, I'm just sharing this now. Go ahead and share this here on all the major. You want to share this on all the major platforms. The president of the Liberian Association, Mr. Valiaku Karbo, will be speaking to the community shortly. He will come on and speak to you guys. So what I'm doing right now, I'm just sharing this in some major chat rooms. Go ahead and help me share this in all the major chat rooms. And you can also share this in the Liberian Association chat room as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome here to Current Situation Media. Tonight we will be hearing from the president of the Liberian Association of Iowa, Mr. Valiaku Karbo. So we encourage you guys to share this to your friends. This is a prime time address here. And we encourage you guys to tune in and listen to Mr. Karbo. So I am sharing this here. Please do the same. Go ahead and share this here in these major chat rooms. We appreciate that here. Share this to most Liberians in order for them to tune in. So Mr. Karbo will be joining us very shortly. Mr. Karbo will be joining us here very shortly as he speak to the Liberian people. So we encourage you guys to share this here. And also we encourage you to follow this speech. This is a very important announcement here, a community address. This is a very important community address here, so we encourage you guys to share this as well. The president will be coming on. Mr. President, can you hear me? Let me see. Let me put the president on the screen. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, yeah, we are live right now. Let me go ahead and all right. So folks are tuning in here, and we encourage the folks here to share this live. We appreciate that. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, here, welcome here to Current Situation Media, your number one source of informative information here and within the community here. And today we have a very important guest. He's not familiar to the he is familiar to the show here. Is the president of the Liberian Association of Iowa, Mr. Valiaku Karbo, who will be addressing the community today. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, AJ, for having me on the show. Thank you very much. And I want to say hello to Liberians in Iowa and Des Moines area. Hope you guys having a good weekend.
All right. Thank you, sir. All right, sir. We're going to start with introduction here. Uh, we're going to start with introduction here, and then from there we're going to also put you on the screen by yourself, and you can go ahead and speak to the people of Iowa as I continue to share this in other chat rooms. Go ahead.
All right, yeah. So my name is Valiaku Karbo, president of Liberian Association of Iowa, and I'm also candidate. I'm running for my second term.
Go ahead. Yes. So thank you very much. Yeah, so today you will be speaking with. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay. So today you'll be speaking with the folks of the Liberian people in the state of Iowa. You're going to address them. You have some information for them here, just some updates and how things are playing out here since the election saga. And so we want you to talk to them since the election was postponed here by the board of directors, and you have not addressed the people. And also, I know we had a meeting where the body uh, installed you to continue your leadership until election. So we give you the time to speak with to the people of Iowa, the Liberian people of Iowa.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Hoax. Again, I want to say good evening to Liberians in Iowa and in the Des Moines area. Um, Today I'm here just to make some important points clear. The first thing I want to make clear is everybody here. We are here to serve our community. We want to make sure that our community is vibrant, and we are not in the habit, or we are not here to destabilize the community that we have fought hard to bring together. That's the first thing I want to put out there. So as a community, we would like everybody to participate in the process, but also to show restraint. As you all know, our elections should have been August 6th, and at the dying minute, it was announced by one of the candidates that the election was postponed. Um, and the board had wrote me a communication to sit with them. I did that, and we discussed. And so for that part, that's where we are at. So the board called me into a meeting. Well, at least they wrote a letter and called me into a meeting with the members of the board, and we were able to sit down. We've met twice. We were able to sit down, and we discussed a host of issues, and we dealt with that part of it. Uh, there was a meeting on Sunday, which was the constitutional monthly meeting of the association. The body made some resolutions there. I communicated that resolutions to the board. One of the resolutions that was that we continue on until elections happen, and the second resolution was that the board, speak to the community because a lot of people in the community were, as far as the election, in a vacuum as to what was going on. We did that. I think the board spoke on another show, and they are posted in the association chat room for a meeting on Sunday. I think the body also said if they had not spoken or made any attempt, that a meeting should have been called on Sunday. So I think the board has responded. A meeting is called on Sunday at 6,000 Douglas Avenue. That's where we're at this point in time. Sunday meeting, the board will be making a statement, and the General Assembly will be there also to make decisions based on where the organization is going. So I think, in a nutshell, that is what is going on in the community right now. We are confident. The community is standing with us. We are confident that we're going to win these elections, and we want to get this thing over with and get to the ballot box, and that's where we make our statement. So, Vinton, again, thank you for having me on the show. I will stop here for now. If you have any questions, and we'll take it from there.
All right. Thank you here. Can you hear me?
Oh yes, loud and clear.
So you did mention that the board has sent a communication or have scheduled a meeting for this coming Sunday at Faith Confident Church. Am I correct?
That is correct.
So when that citation was put out,
I think it was some point yesterday. Well, they didn't send it to me, but it posted in the Liberian Association chat room. So
that
yeah, it was.
okay. So basically, if the board was not going to schedule a meeting for this Sunday here, were you going to schedule a meeting? Because I know that you wrote the board, and pretty much, according to the body, the board was supposed to respond for an election date, a new election date within 24 hours. It's been over 48 hours or going to 72 hours, and now the board have responded, but did not announce any election date, only announced meeting, a community meeting for this coming Sunday. Am I correct?
Yeah, well, I think the body was pretty clear also that the board respond. There needs to be a meeting. If there was not a response, basically, if there was not a meeting coming up, then the body had mandated that a meeting should be called,
Yeah.
and those things should be decided there. So since the meeting is called, it shows that okay, they are responding because those issues will also be decided there. So I don't think the board was going to come up with an elections date yesterday, but I think at the meeting they're going to come. We're going to, as a body and then the board and membership, we're going to decide when to host election.
Okay, and thank you for that. Thank you for that update here. Hang on, I just have to put you back here on the screen here. We are using this app right now here. I just have to put you back. All right, just a second here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you.
All right. All right, so I just got to put you back on the screen here. You are back on the screen. So, ladies and gentlemen, here the president is on right now. Here, feel free here if you have any questions for him. You can feel free to ask him. He just stated that will be a meeting. The board just called for a meeting this coming Sunday. So bring us up to speed here. If you have the agenda of this Sunday meeting, because there have to be an agenda. What's on the agenda? We really want to know what's on the agenda. How many items and what's the main purpose of this Sunday meeting?
Well, I mean, some of the agenda is with the board. I know the board is having uh, probably having their own meeting. I'm not sure. The chairman of the board, as I said, has not communicated with me, but I know the board is their findings would be one of the agendas on the meeting. I'm guessing. And then the elections should be on the agenda as far as the postponement and the resumption of election matters. Because that's the biggest thing that's really going on right now is the election, or what's going to happen with the election and when the election is going to take place. I think those things are major issues on the agenda for Sunday meeting.
Okay, that's good. That's good. And at least, even though the board waited after 24 hours to respond, but at least they adhere to the communication that was sent out to them, and they are calling the meeting here, and the meeting will be scheduled at Faith Confident Church at the same place we had the general meeting the last time. Am I correct?
That's correct. Yes.
Okay, so there will be some other reactions after you address the community, or after you have spoken to the community. Is there any I have the Constitution here in my hand here, and I know I'm one of the framers of this Constitution, and I know it was updated. It has been updated twice since we last put this Constitution together. Or I was on the updated committee when doing Vani leadership. So that was like I would say about maybe 12 years ago. But since then, the Constitution has been updated. I went through the updated one here. So a lot of points, about 2 or 3 points where the board violated the Constitution. And so I don't know if you are ready for us to discuss this, or you still have other information where you want to disseminate to the people of Iowa.
No, as I said, let's discuss. Let's discuss what you have on the agenda for the show tonight. I
Yeah.
can chip in if I have, opinions on certain issues. I can make my opinions known. If I don't have opinions on certain issues, I can let it go. But yeah, let's go by your agenda. Let's go by your agenda on the show.
Okay, so folks, we will use the Constitution tonight as our defense, as our argument, through all the discussion, because a lot of people don't know my role in this within the Liberian Association. Again, they don't know my role. I know I have not been active, but I've been active within the community. Like I always say that the Liberian Association of Iowa is a membership-based organization. So they are also a subset to the Liberian community. The Liberian community is made of different sectional organizations, including the Liberian organization, which is the head and the mother organization. So being a mother organization, they are still a membership-based organization, but they do here ask for help within the community. So I am a bona fide member. Valiaku, you disappear from the screen. Can you see me or hear me? The president disappeared from the screen here. We will try to bring him back on here. For some reason, he disappeared. So we will. He was sent. For some reason, the president disappeared from the screen, but he was sent another request to come on here. So if you want to come on the show today to participate, feel free to opine. We have our link. We will go ahead and put the link on the screen. Just let us know here. We can also send you the link. So I think Mr. Karbo is back here. What happened?
I don't know. My phone just it went off, so I'm sorry for that.
Okay. Yeah, so we have a link here, and I just want to let the people know here. We will go ahead and put the link before we start the discussion. We'll put a link, because some people want to come in here, and feel free to come in here. So let me go ahead and put a link. For some reason, the president keep. Hello?
Yeah, I'm here. I can hear you.
Yeah. I said for some reason you keep moving from the screen.
Sorry, somebody try to call. I'm trying to get when you're on the screen and somebody try to call you. Sometimes it blanks you out, but that's fine.
Oh, really? Yeah. Let me go ahead and put the link here. So come on. All right. So I went ahead and put the link. All right. So the link. Let's see. I want to make sure that we got a link here. So let viewers here, if you just joining us here, welcome here to the show. We are speaking with Mr. Valiaku Karbo, president of the Liberian Association of Iowa, and let's dive into this here because a lot of people, when I tell them that I strongly believe, according to the Constitution, that the bull violated the Constitution. So let's start from the first place. The Constitution, according to the Constitution here, Article 3. So this is the first violation here, right? This is the one that they ignore. So Article 3, Section 4. I'm going to read it. Article 3, Section 4, meetings. And I'm reading from the Constitution here. And I'm not reading from the old one, the amended, the updated one, the one that we're currently using. I'm reading from it. So let me go back here. So according to the Constitution here, Article 3, Section 4, it reads, Liberian Association of Iowa meetings shall be held every second Sunday in a month. The president shall have the right to call emergency meetings when necessary. The president shall set the time and venue of the meetings. So let's look at the first phrase here. The Liberian Association meeting constitutionally is supposed to be held the second Sunday. When we arrived, the meeting that was held where you was reinstated to continue your leadership, that was the second Sunday. This is not a meeting that you schedule. This is a meeting where you just announce just to give people reminder because everybody busy. But it was the second Sunday. So this meeting is constitutionalized. All right. We have to follow it. Second Sunday, the board did not show up. The board did not send a communication say the meeting was canceled. The board ignored this meeting. The board sent a communication only saying that your term is expired August 6th. Even and that communication they sent out that was also violation, but we'll talk about that. But let's talk about the meeting. The board ignored the meeting. And the board saying that the government by the Constitution, to pretty much take over or pretty much govern vacuum of leadership. But they ignored a constitutional meeting that was scheduled. They did not say why they ignored that meeting. They did not show up and why. So that's a violation right there. Am I right or wrong?
All right, look. I mean, for me, I would say the board, in their own mind, can answer why they did not attend a constitutionally mandated meeting. A lot of, I mean, and I always say the meeting was there. The meeting should have been had, and a lot of issues could have been addressed at that meeting. A lot of issues were addressed, but I won't speak for the board. Uh, Liberian Association Constitution say the second Sunday there is a constitutional mandated meeting. If somebody cannot be there, that does not stop the meeting from happening. So they say a meeting should happen. They didn't say they didn't say everybody should be there, but the meeting should happen. And when that meeting happens, it's constitutional, and decisions of that meeting is binding. So if the board wasn't there, if for example, if a vice president is not in meeting, doesn't mean the meeting doesn't happen. If the president is absent and the meeting happens and his deputy presides, it doesn't mean that meeting doesn't happen. That meeting still happens, and whatever happens at that meeting is binding. If you were the president and you couldn't make a meeting on the second Sunday, you won't come back 2 weeks later and say, whatever I said to that meeting, it's not going to work because I wasn't there. Because it didn't say who's supposed to be there. It says a meeting should happen. And so, the board can speak for themselves on why they thought they were in there. I don't like to speculate for people, but that meeting was a constitutional mandated meeting, and that meeting was held. And the General Assembly, again, is the highest decision-making body of our association. And the reason why those meetings are held is for the General Assembly to review the decisions of the executive and the board, and either validate them, reject them, or make changes to them.
Okay, because people are saying who called for the meeting. That's another argument out there. That's another statement out there. Who called for the meeting? Who presided over the meeting? But I'm just reading in the Constitution right here that Article 3, Section 4 stated that Liberian Association shall be held, or Liberian Association meeting shall be held every second Sunday. I'm reading word by word.
Right, exactly. So
Yeah.
there's nobody should call for a meeting
Liberian
for the association.
Association meeting shall be held every second Sunday. So you guys are asking who called for the meeting? The board is in control. No. This board, if the board is in control, the board was supposed to be at that meeting to speak to the Liberian people. So the board is in violation, of the constitution that they're going by. So that's why I challenged the co-chair and the chairman. Let's have a constitutional discussion for 2 hours. We both use the constitution as our defense. Nobody might assume or insinuate or speculate or bloviate. Let's use it as our defense. And that's what we're using tonight. And again, I challenge the co-chair and the chairman or any members of the board to come on this platform and let's discuss this. So we're discussing this with the president. So that's one violation right there, folks. We're gonna
and let me just say something again. If it's an emergency meeting, you can say who called the emergency meeting. Our monthly mandated meeting is not who called that meeting. That meeting is called by the Constitution, and nobody has to call the meeting. The place and time has to be told to the people, but that meeting, is mandated that it happens. And there are certain people with constitutional authority to, postpone it. But again, there were nobody said it was postponed. There were no messages that said, the meeting was postponed, and the meeting wasn't happening for X, Y, and Z reason. So again, who calls the meeting? The Constitution calls that meeting, and that meeting is binding on the association when it happens.
And let's go back to see when the meeting, why should the meeting be postponed? Let's be fair here. Let's read the portion that state if the meeting can be canceled or postponed, or regulated by, the board of directors. So let's go back here. Let's go back here to meetings. And folks, we will be fair here. In the absence of the, yep, I want to make sure that we be fair here. We read the other one. All right. Okay, there you go. Leadership. So, all right. So let's go to Article 8, Section 8.1, Leadership Succession. And I'm quoting for the Constitution. Like I said, I have the updated Constitution. Article 8, Leadership Vacuum. In the event of a leadership vacuum created by the president as a result of death, removal from office for cause, or if the president is incapacitated, the vice president shall resume and complete the remaining term of the president. In the event the vice president is incapacitated or removal for cause, the board of directors shall appoint an acting president to complete the term until general election. Okay, so we start right there. If the board of directors, even though the board of directors but let's go back before we discuss this one. Let's go back here on the reason the board of directors created that leadership vacuum, because I feel that the board of director created that leadership vacuum. Let's hear from you. So, according to the Constitution, your term ended in May. You and Curtis' term ended in May. Am I correct?
That's correct.
So, when your term ended in May, take us from May to where you guys are still, running for elections here, carrying on the election, and your term ended in May. What happened with the former board of directors when your term ended in May? Explain.
Well, I said again, when our term ended, we were scheduling elections, or elections were scheduled, or we were going through the process of elections. What do you call them? The election commissioners and the body was going through the process. And even though our term ended, it was a consensus with the General Assembly and the board that we
Right.
continue running the leadership until elections were held. And that could be seen because we held all the meetings. We called all the meetings for the Constitution. We held. There were series of meetings held when we did the dialogue for the Constitution. I mean for the election bylaws and everything like that. We ran those meetings. The election commissions came there. They put the information out. We ran the meetings. We went over them. We reviewed them with the General Assembly, and the General Assembly voted to adopt those. What the election commission had already put out there. So on August 6th, after election, there would have already been a transition because on August 6th, there would have been elections, a winner would have been announced and installed. So there was not going to be a leadership vacuum. There were going to be a transition from one leadership to the next. So basically, if I won, there was going to be a transition from my old team to my new team, and if they had won, we was going to just transition to them. The other team.
Let's stop you right there. Now, with that said, the board of directors and in approval with the body or in consensual with the body, they extended your leadership term after May until election is held. Am I correct?
That's correct.
Okay, until election is held. Now, the grievances filed by the other team to the election commissioner and to the board, because I later on found out that they did go through the election commissioner, which was the first thing to do. If the election commissioner does not respond, then they go to the board, in which they did, and that's perfect on them. That's good, because I was going to challenge them why they skipped the election commissioner, but they did not. I just did some homework research and found out that they went to the election commissioner first. So with that said, they filed their grievances, and the board, according to the Constitution, the board have 24 hours to respond, and they did respond
Right.
in 24 hours, even though it was during a debate. But it is within the Constitution that they can respond in 24 hours, in which they
Right.
did everything. All right. So they responded within 24 hours, and they postponed the election. They did not get on the election precinct. They sent out communication. The election commission was not on the precinct, in which I feel that was their respect to the community. Even though they sent out electronic communication, but it was also arrived at the precinct to address the other folks, the librarian that was coming to vote. But however, even though they postponed the election, but according to the Constitution, you still have your tenure continue until election is held. So they postpone the election. There is no way they can say there's a leadership vacuum, because according to the Constitution, the election did not take place. It was postponed. So because it was postponed, your tenure still continue. Am I right or wrong?
Yeah, but look, I mean, and let's even put it to this way, okay? There's no need to even drag the issue. We had a General Assembly constituted meeting on Sunday in which those issues could have been addressed.
Thank you.
So there was no need to even go about it and say I came to the General Assembly, because the General Assembly is the highest decision maker. As I said, they could accept. You got came to the General Assembly and say, guys, what do we do? The attorneys should have been until elections. Well, election wasn't held. Do we extend that tenure again, or what is the body thinking? And there should have been suggestions. There would have been motions put on the floor, and those motions would have been voted on, and we're moving from there. So some of these issues, I don't like to create issues when there should be none. For example, on Sunday, the board could have been there, and a lot of things that were even people are bickering about and these things could have been resolved in a very easy manner, and we move on. Again, when you have these things happening, there's no need to be, what do we do? Do we wait? If you're going to use the Constitution, then you can't use the Constitution halfway. You have to use the Constitution the whole way. So if you're determined on what you are doing, is based on constitutional mandate, then the parts of the Constitution that you like, you can use it, and the other parts that you don't think it favors you right now, you can't throw it out. So fine, you had 24 hours. The board did that job. That's great.
Yeah.
But guess what? You can't ignore the meeting that is mandated in the Constitution. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of these issues could have been resolved. So the board can answer for themselves why they didn't think that it should attend the Constitution mandated meeting to resolve these issues, to talk to the community, and let the general body decide on what the next steps are for the organization. So I can't speak to them, but a lot of these things could have been easily resolved if the board would have decided to show up to the meeting.
Thank you very much for following up on that here. But folks, I mean, you guys can see this for yourself. We are not accusing the board because we hit the board members. No, we are only, our job is to, as a concerned citizen, I'm speaking as a concerned citizen. As a concerned citizen, our job is to pretty much follow the Constitution. All right. This is the stuff that govern us. Even if the body cell cannot violate this, because the body is the one that pretty much put this in place, or appointed or elected people to come and put this in place. All right. I was one of the framers. I was one of the framers of this Constitution. So I know the Constitution. But because I wanted to refresh my memory, I have not been actively involved in the VK and Curtis leadership. So when this was updated, and I was not also actively involved in Steve Sewan and Cooper leadership. So the updated Constitution, I have never read it. So I just read it now. I asked for a copy, and it's still the same. Just few things were updated. And now I'm using this as a defense against the board. The board violated the Constitution all over. They did not adhere to the meeting, constitutional mandated meeting. They ignored it because it was the place for the board to present. I think it was the big mistake the board made by not attending that meeting. It was the big mistake by not attending the meeting on Sunday. Okay, and not only that, when the board sent a text message that these guys' terms that the leadership is not in vacuum and the board is taking over, that also was a violation. Because while the election was there was no election that took place. There wasn't an election. So because there wasn't an election, these guys' turn still continue until election took place. However, if the board wanted to seize leadership at that time, they were supposed to be present at the association meeting and put that provision to vote. But it didn't. So where are we falsely accusing the board? The board violated the Constitution. Where are we accusing them? Ladies and gentlemen, we are not accusing them. No. They violated the Constitution. And that's why I challenge the co-chair, any chairman, or any members of the board to be a stand-up individual to come and let's have the discussion. We will use the Constitution as our defense. So Mr. VK attended the meeting, presided over the meeting, called for the meeting. No, he was following the Constitution. He was following Article 3, Section 2. That's what he was doing. He did not violate anything. The body reinstated him to continue until they can hear from the board. And now, this Sunday, we are meeting. We're going to hear from the board. We're going to come with the Constitution. We're going to ask them again. We'll put them on a hard place. Go ahead, Mr. President.
Yeah, look, as I said, our job is to make sure the communities stay at peace. The meeting was a constitutionally amended meeting, and a lot of these, every time these things happen in our community, and people are not communicated to, and people who are in authorities to communicate with them decide not to. Sometimes it calls for concern. In the meeting, and at the meeting, you could see what people said. There were a lot of people there who said, "Look, we are here, but we are not hearing from the board," and that's why that resolution was for the board to respond. And after the meeting, I wrote the chairman of the board and I told him exactly, what happened at the meeting and what were some of the resolutions there. Again, the board has their own membership. They do their own thing. I think they can answer for themselves. But as I said again, if we're using the Constitution should be used the whole way. We cannot partially use the Constitution, and basically you cannot use the Constitution to where you think it is advantageous, and don't use the Constitution in other places. If you're going to use the Constitution, then the Constitution should be used holistically. So if you're going to use the Constitution, that's fine. I'm fine with everything. But then you cannot come and say the constitutional amended meeting cannot happen because we decide. You cannot decide not to have a constitutional amended meeting, and if you're not even close with the authority to call that meeting or postpone that meeting. So, again, as I said, the meeting was held on Sunday because nobody has to call a second Sunday meeting. It's a constitutional amended meeting. And meetings are held by the executive mostly. The executive is in charge of handling, these kind of things.
Thank you. And I just want to let my viewers know here. I think two person asked here to come on. I sent them the link. So Jenkins and Brian, if you check your inbox on Facebook, I sent you the link. So what you can do is copy and paste in your Safari browser or your Google browser, or click the link. It's very easy to come on. And the president, I don't think, did you experience any hard time coming on?
No, I just copy and pasted in my Safari browser and I was able to come on.
Just copy and paste in your Safari or your Google browser, and we will bring you on here. And while we are waiting, Brian and Jenkins, and also Pastor Amos Elijah. If you want to come on, let us know too. We can send you the link. On this show here, we are not partial. We are fair. We can bring anyone on, whether you disagree with us. We would not, the only time we can suspend you if you use profanity. But and you can come and disagree to the fullest. You are entitled to your speech. You are entitled to your thoughts, your perspective, and yeah. You're also entitled to disagree because that's your point of view. So yeah, so those that want to come on, let us know. We can bring up to 6, 10 people on. We are using the StreamYard app. The president is on. If y'all want to ask him any question, feel free to opine. So, Pastor Amos, let me go ahead, Pastor Amos Elijah. Let me go ahead and send you the link. You can contact any of your team member, the team integrity. If y'all want to come on too, you guys can come on. This show is for the community, so it's not a VK show here or VK team show. The president had it, come on since he start to he re to bid again to rerun. We usually give more airtime to you guys, so do not hesitate. Feel free to come on. So you still have not tell the Liberian people what's the agenda. I know you communicate with the board. What's the agenda for this? What's on
I
it?
think, as I said, I have not. The chairman of the board has not given me his agenda. But as I said again, the
But,
board, if you
but do you have agenda as a leadership? Because you're supposed to pretty much, it's supposed to be two agenda. The board cannot just have the agenda all night or all through all the meeting. Even
well,
though emergency meeting, it is not a general meeting. But do you have agenda to pretty much give it to them, and you have a one agenda because they
yeah,
come to
but as I said, look. I mean, the issue that we are talking about right here is election matters. I mean, most things surround the elections, right? The community right now is at a standstill because of the elections situation. So I'm at that meeting. Most things should be surrounding election matters. The board hasn't, well, at this point, since they wrote us and told us that there was a complaint against our team, and based on that complaint the elections was postponed. We have met them and discussed with them. They have not come up with any conclusive statement on that matter either. So that should be part of the agenda on Sunday, and then the resumption of the elections. I mean, those are the major issues that should be dealt with at the Sunday meeting, because as I said, those are the issues that is hindering the community. I think most people want us to go to elections and be done with it. Most things, I would say all things on elections are done. The only thing that's not done is casting of ballots. So everything was done. The debates were all done. Everything everything based on that election was done. So the only thing that is not done is the casting of ballots. So I think the meeting would be central focus on those issues.
I want you to answer Pastor Amon's question here. He asked me, but I want you to answer it.
Right, right.
This is referring to you. I will put it on the screen. So he said, AJ, can you lead the community when you are on an investigation? So you
Well,
answer it now. Like he's
well,
referring.
I mean, I've never heard that being on investigations make you ineligible to lead the community if you're leading the
I know,
community.
right?
We live in the biggest democracy on earth. President Trump was on an investigation; he was still the president of the United States.
Yes.
So the mindset or the attitude that if you're under investigation, you cannot lead is a defeatist mindset.
Yeah. You are not being convicted. You are
But
on an
that's exactly the point. So if you are in leadership, let's say a year ago, or like, even if I'm in a second term, and somebody says that and somebody writes the board to investigate me for any reason, you will not be taking out leadership to be investigated. You will be investigated while you're in leadership.
Okay.
So yes, you can be in leadership and be investigated.
Mr. President, where in the Constitution stated that when you're on an investigation, you cannot leave?
There's nowhere in the Constitution that says so. There's nowhere in the Constitution that says so. Again,
I'm also asking Pastor Amon. Pastor Amon, I know by now you should be familiar with the updated Constitution. Where in the Liberian Association Constitution states or mention which article, which section that when you are on an investigation that you cannot continue your tantrum, your tenure?
Well, as I said, there's no provisions in the Constitution that says if you're under investigation, you cannot lead. Number one, again, number two, as I said, we're in the biggest democracy on earth, and that's what we claim to want to follow. And then if we're doing that, then let's follow that democracy to the full. Leaders can be in power or it can be in a position and be investigated for whatever reason, because guess what? An investigation doesn't mean the person is guilty of that or the person did it. What happens when the person didn't do it? So the fact of the matter is, you can be investigated and you can be in leadership. After your investigation, when the findings are there, then the body can decide what to do and how to proceed. That's how the process works. So any other thing outside of that is the attitude of defeatists and is people's own personal thinking about it. But dealing with the issue as is, then if you are going to be objective and deal with the issue as is, then yes, we can be in leadership and it can be investigated. And there's no reason that that cannot happen.
Because one of my questions to the board of director is how can you say that leadership, you created a leadership vacuum. How can you say that VK and Curtis' term ended on August 6th and you guys are in control? How? There was not an election held August 6th. There was no election held. So you said these guys' term leadership ended due to you guys investigating VK? No, there's nowhere in the Constitution that says VK is on investigation that he should step aside. No. Therefore, there is a violation again. He was put there by the board of directors, the former board of directors, and the body to continue until election is held. There was no election. Election was postponed. Therefore, his leadership still continues until election is held. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. You sent a letter around, a citation saying that VK and Curtis leadership, even though Curtis resigned, and that's fine to him, you know. So, but this man leadership still continue until election is held. So there was no election. Election was postponed. So isn't that a violation right there? Let's bring Brian on here. Brian, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. You can hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay, good.
But you're right, Vivian. Vivian said the pastor is not familiar. The pastor is not familiar with the Constitution. This is not a biblical constitution here. I know the pastor is familiar with the Bible, but this is just a constitution that was put in place here by the framers. And I'm one of the framers, so I just want to let you know that I'm one of the framers, even though they didn't mention my name on the updated one, but we the one crafted the original constitution when they doing Vanisaki, not doing Vanisaki. The original constitution, I was not part of it, but doing Vanisaki leadership, we amended it. So I'm one of the framers. Yeah, so I've been on the constitutional committee. So I just want to make that clear, Pastor Amos here. So maybe like Vivian said, Pastor Amos is now, familiar with that, yeah, with the Liberian Association of Constitution, and she's right. So let's welcome Brian Brown. Brian Brown is outspoken community member or resident of Des Moines, Iowa. So, Brian, welcome to the show. What say you? What is your input on this discussion?
Yeah, actually, I already been following the whole stuff, the whole organization, you know. But to be honest, right, I would say the whole board. I don't know if they really know what the meaning of constitution. I don't know. I don't know if they really know the meaning of constitution, because, like you said, you were part of the constitution committee, right? So my question here is that what are the qualifications, right? For in the constitution, right? The qualification for in order for a person to run for office. What are the requirements in the constitution? I'm going to read that part. Then two, my second question is, Mr. Karbo, he lead the community for over 2 years plus, right? As the president of the organization. So they never knew all those stuff have been going on. Why now during debate time they brought all those kind of BS in less than 24 hours, then they cancel election. So I want to know that part, because I feel that now they got, I don't know the guy we also know the bodyguard whatever. Like they see bodyguard like brought the president and Curtis, you know, to lead the organization. Why now he going against the president now? They finally click. If you know the president got all evil, all that kind of stuff. Why? Why they may rule for 2 years plus, they know that they may going to win again. Then they find out stuff. So I want to know that part, the qualification, for people to be for a person to lead the organization. What are the requirement? Is the organization do any investigation? What now? They putting on all the kind of scary tare because they know that they're going to win. Why they bringing up all those problems? They make personal issue, bringing it in the community. Because when they said that since 2016, that whole thing happened, and they may rule us for 2 years plus. Why now, in less than 24 hours debate, then they cancel election?
Okay, very good question, Brian. Very good question, and we are discussing this matter using the Constitution as our defense.
Yeah.
I want the Liberian people to tune in. The question that Brian asked was very relevant. But let me give you a sum that I read, okay? And this is the sum this up is qualification. First is for someone to run, you'll be vetted. The election commission have their own you got to be vetted. Your background got to be checked. You got to have, certain things and certain requirement. And
Yeah.
the election commissioner, DK and Curtis passed that test.
So,
The board
so that, yeah.
not only that, according to the board of directors, in 2020, when these guys ran, they passed that test. But let's follow up on the Constitution. So the Constitution, Article 6, qualification of and tenure of elected officers. The president. Let's start with the president.
Yeah.
The president shall be a full, regular, and active member of the association.
Okay.
Shall be elected to the post of president by a simple majority of active members on election day, as required by the Constitution, and shall serve a period of 2 years. He or she shall be qualified to contest for re-election for additional 2 years, but shall not be eligible to contest or be re-elected for a third term as bylaw. So they get for that third term. To demonstrate trustworthiness, accountability, and commitment. You going to voluntarily commit that time and efforts toward attaining the aim and objective of the Liberian Association of Iowa shall be of good social standing within the community. That's why it comes now. Shall be within good social standing and shall have effective communication and interpersonal skills. So for the president, that's the requirement for the president. So the election commissioner used that good social standing skill as to check the person background, right? To vet the person. And Mr. Karbo and Dolly passed that vetting process. So, Mr. Karbo, can you continue from there?
No, look, as I said again, right? The Constitution laid out what it is to be the president. It's a good social or moral standing, but there are a lot of things that come with social or moral standing.
Right.
You know, do we vet for all of it? So again, look, it comes down to this. Uh, when you see this happening, it comes from a defeatist mentality. People who are very confident about winning elections don't go through this process. But when you know that it's not going to go your way, then you want to maneuver and you can see what all is happening. So it comes from that. It comes from that. My opponents know. The matter of fact is the community is solidly behind me. If we went to elections anytime, I'm going to win that election. So you try to sling mud, you try to see what can stick. You do what you can to delay the process, but that's about it. And as I said again, I've spoken to the board. I've provided them clarity on the issue, and I will not speak on behalf of the board or any member of the board. But I provided clarity, and that issue, as far as I'm concerned, is behind me. And I've led this community with distinction. Since I've led this community, nobody has always said Mr. Carbo did this, Mr. Carbo did that, Mr. Carbo stole our money, Mr. Carbo did that. None of that. You know, my 2 years as a leader of this community is with distinction. It's with distinction, and that's what I've been doing. So again, I'm confident to go to elections. I'm confident for us to go to the ballot box. The community is going to come out and choose that leader. Let's go and do that and be done and over with. Look, leadership is not something that I want to hold on to. If I went to election and lost the election, I would tell this community, thank you for the time served, and I'll move on to other things. You know, so there's no need to prolong the process. Let's go to the elections. Let the community choose their leader, and let's move on from there. But there's only one team in this race that is confident that they are going to win at the ballot box, and that's why they're doing all they're doing. We are confident we're going to win at the ballot box, and we know that we can win at the ballot box, and we know that the people in the community are going to vote for us because that is what is out there. So obviously, if you can't win, if you cannot win at the ballot box, you have to find other means. And obviously this is their least this is the last trick in the hat, and they are finding other means. But that issue has been dealt with and is behind us.
Okay. So, Brian, stay on. I got a very sensitive question to ask the president, and let us know if you are comfortable to speak on it. You met with on investigation. You met with the board of directors, the official meeting, which was 2 weeks ago. What was the outcome? What did you present to exonerate yourself?
Well, as I said, I presented documents to the board that exonerated me.
Which
I
doc?
Yeah, I don't know if I want to I don't know if I should divorce that now. But I presented documents to the board that nobody else has access to, except myself in the courts. That is that exonerates me completely. So again, as I said, when people are doing these things, sometimes you don't have to speak a lot because the truth is on your side, and when the truth is on your side, you don't make a lot of noise about it. I presented documents to the board. I sat with them. It was a very cordial meeting, and we talked about these issues. We went through it step by step, and we all left from there in cordiality. I gave them exactly what was needed. As I said, a lot of people, they speak out of ignorance sometimes. And in that context, I'm using it's not an insult. Is a lacking of understanding of how things work. And so, they run with the first thing somebody tell them, and they don't have time to even go in and check and see, what it is. So, when a lot of people are running with things, I was like, I didn't think it was even important for me to come out and make a statement because, again, the board called me. I went as a leader should, and I discussed and I presented them my evidence
Okay.
as to why not only that I should be exonerated, why I was exonerated. And as I said, I started a debate, because it came out of debate. And I started a debate, I said, but after this incident, I've had contracts with the state of Iowa. I've met the governor of Iowa. I got pictures of meeting the governor of Iowa. So, when people say, oh, yeah, you can't meet, I've met the governor of Iowa. I've spoken to the governor of Iowa. I've met the lieutenant governor of Iowa. So when people are making these things up, you just have to look at it. I've had contracts with the state of Iowa, and somebody said it. If you do have contract, they said you go through a background check. So I don't know if I will get a contract with the state of Iowa when if you're saying to have that record, I don't know who would give me who would look at me and give me that kind of contract.
So, Brian, let me do my last question. I'll bring you in here. But even though that's not my last question for the night, but let me do a follow-up question based on what he said. So you met with the board. You presented your document. How long was the meeting, and how many board member was present? And give a summary, of the meeting, the outcome of the meeting. What was the feedback from the board directors?
Okay, yeah,
And we want you to be honest to the Liberian people because they are watching.
yeah. But as I said, the meeting was a cordial meeting. Most members of the board were there. I think one was not there completely, and a second board member had to leave in the middle of the meeting because he had an emergency to go attend to. But it was a full board. We met, we discussed. As I said, the meeting was a cordial meeting. To be frank, we discussed the issue. We talked about what the investigation was. What was the reason that the elections were canceled? They gave their insight, and they spoke. Uh, I had members of my team there. My team members were able to ask questions. We were able to, have a conversation, and then we went to the nitty gritty. And I presented my documents, and we talked about everything. The board said that after we give them everything, they were going to go to their deliberations and get back to us. That has not happened yet. But yeah, that's how that meeting was ended. We discussed everything was done, and the board was going to go have their own deliberations and then get back to us.
Okay. It's been almost 2 weeks. The board met with you again for the second time. What was the essence of that other meeting?
Oh well, yeah, that meeting was very short. It was not really the full board. It was it was the chairman and co-chair on election matters, and it was just for some clarity.
Thank you. Let me bring Brian in. Brian, do you think the board of the Liberian Association of Iowa have any case against this man?
I think what I what I analyze the whole case or the whole stuff is that the board afraid that if the president be re-elected, the president is a man who don't listen to whosoever. He's straightforward president. He's very straight and bold. What can I realize is that they both trying to find someone who they will control. Okay? I bet I'm 2018. Okay? They finding all these things to get trying to find someone who they will control. I realize that they cannot control VK, so they try to find all means to get rid of him. But my questions to the president is that what if this coming Sunday, when you guys have a meeting, when the board come to a conclusion and say, "Oh, Mr. Valiaku, this is what happened," so now we want to step aside because this is what also get aside. We going to appoint somebody to be the interim president until election time, but we will not allow you to contest because of this. So what will be your action?
I don't have no action. As I said again, we're going to a meeting, and when you have a meeting, the General Assembly is the highest decision maker there. The board has the right to deliberate. The board has the right to give their opinions. But the General Assembly is the people who can accept and reject any decision by anybody. So, I think I said at the last meeting, I said the executive can make a decision. And when we come to a meeting, we can put that decision between the body, and the body can say, we don't think the decision is the right decision, or we can reject it, or we can accept it. And that's why these things are done at meetings. So, I'm not going to second guess what the board is going to do, quite frankly. I don't like to second guess people. But you second guess people, then it's almost like you're trying to put words in a person's mouth. So I'm not going to second guess the board. I am confident that every document I give the board exonerates me to the fullest. And I know we're going to the ballot box very soon. And that's where I'm at. I'm like, let's go to the ballot box and let the people decide who they want to be their president. Every other thing is just a bunch of debate tactics at this point. But I'm not going to second guess the board. But we're going to have a meeting. The body will be there, and let everybody go there with the mindset that we're trying to resolve this issue.
Yep. Yeah. My last question, right? So, do your debate. I watched the debate, but I came late, a little bit late. But at the ending of the debate, Mr. Dolly Curtis announced that election was postponed. Is Dolly have the right to get out announcement, or the National Election Commission have the right? And he was right there. The National Election Commission was right there. What was his statement at that movement?
I think AJ has everything on tape. As I said again, no candidate has the right to pronounce the postponement election. But again, as I said, you got to ask those guys. They have their reasons for doing what they do. I don't know. But in my mind, is the attitude of a defeatist. Do you believe, if Curtis believed that he could have won this election on Sunday, was he going to announce postponement? I doubt it. I doubt it 100%. That if Curtis was confident in himself that his team was going to win elections on the 6th, he was not going to be hasty to pronounce postponement. Well, why would you want to postpone an election that you're about to win anyway? The reason why you do that is because you know in your hearts and you know from the numbers that you cannot win. So you got to play your last card. You got to, push it to figure out what you're going to do. So, yeah, you will pronounce election because why are you happy that election is postponed if you're going to win elections? Have you seen anybody going to elections that is confident they're going to win an election, happy that election is postponed? No.
No way.
No way. It's not going to happen. So when you are happy that election is postponed, it tells you that person knows that they're seeing defeat. So yeah, he shouldn't have pronounced it, but he did pronounce it. And the election commissioner came and said he didn't receive a notice at that point. At that point myself, I had not received a notice. I think I got a notice at some point while the debate was going on. So I have not even received that notice at that point. I got it later on that night, and we moved on from there. But I think we're past that stage, and I think we're to the stage where look, let's resolve this issue and go to election. The reasons they don't want to go to elections is known. They can't win the election. So they're trying to dodge it.
Yeah. Thank you, Bobby. I sent you the link if you want to come on with your question. But if you just want to write your question, we'll post your question on the main stream and screen and read your question. So go ahead, Bobby, if you have a question.
So what time is the meeting tomorrow, Sunday? What time?
4:30 p.m.
4:30. All right. I might be here. I'm not too sure, but I'll be going Minnesota tomorrow. But I will see. Maybe I'll be. I don't know.
And brother, I just don't understand this. According to the Constitution, shall be in a good social standing, even if you ready to define or social standing.
Yeah.
Even calls about say that you should go ahead and get somebody background record. Social standing does not imply go and get somebody, go record that have been sealed or expunged or go to somebody. Because if you look at it, almost everybody in America, not everybody, have some kind of record.
Because 75%. Yeah.
Some kind of record. Yeah, everybody has some kind of record. Those people that are trying to destroy the main repetition, they have record too. They have record. Do we want to go and publish that record? No. Because why? We are not people that want to bring somebody down.
But brother, I don't continue, right? All that things are going on, right? You run on the man for 2 years plus. You are a person on the man. You never did all our investigation, or did all our background check. But in less than 24 hours during the debate, the debate, all the beating you said to the debate. Phobia cash is straight. He say, oh, election cancel. Is there so? I feel that they cannot control. They be afraid of VK because VK he's a man who born straight. Because not be controlled by that body man. Because for me, I don't know that body man. I don't know him. I not been him before. But my wife made a statement like that body guy, he very corrupt. She told me that.
Yes.
Okay? Yeah. So but that man aware the president is very straight and bold man. Nobody will control him. They may not eat a screw with pepper color. You know what I'm saying? So nobody can control the man. The man from the East Coast, before I could move to Highway, the person Highway la village. The man not village. The man from the East Coast. So nobody can control the man yet. But people realize that the man is very smart enough. So they want thing on the side. They bring someone that will prove by no.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Look,
Brian.
AJ, let me say this. Look, I've built my reputation. I've built my reputation working for this community. And no amount of mudslinging can destroy that. And I think it's been known. I think over time it's been whatever they have thrown. The people in the community know who I am. They know what I've done. And that's the reason why you see everything that have been done is not sticking. People are not even listening to that. It's because people know who I am. People know what I've done, and people know what I've done for other people in this community. And 2 years of my leadership, people know what we have been doing. So for me, as you said, AJ, my decisions are not made based on how other people operate. So I'm not going to follow that level of pettiness. I'm not going to do that. Good social standing in comprises of so many things, bro. Good social standing. When you say good social standing, is a very vague term. We can term it in so many ways.
Yeah.
We can turn good social standing into anything
Yeah.
that you believe is bad social standing if you want to do it to somebody. So that's why I don't participate in those kind of debates, because if you are saying that can we not find something for you that is not in good social standing, we probably can. If we look beyond everybody, we probably can find something, and we can say, hey, you see this? That's
Yeah.
not good social standing.
That's not good suggestion.
So for me, I don't think I need to participate in that level of pettiness. Again, we have built our reputation here, and there's no amount of mudslinging. And look, it has been done over time. What have they not done? They have been to other shows. They have been showing video. Like it still have not deterred and deterred the people of this community and their determination to vote for me. So at this point, there's nothing else you can do.
All right, thank you very much. Let's welcome Bobby here. Brian, stay on here. Stay on the show here. So, Bobby,
Uh,
welcome here to the show here. What is your input on these issues that are going on right now that pretty much stalling the community, or the community have been stalled, and our election, we don't know the head and tail.
First of all, AJ, I want to say good evening to you guys. Vicky, how you
Hey,
doing?
Bobby.
Yeah,
What's up,
brother, how
brother?
you doing?
What's
Hey, how
going
you
on?
doing, man? Long time.
We here, man.
Yeah, AJ, thanks for the opportunity. For allowing me on your platform.
You're welcome.
My question have to do with you first ran, and I guess before a person can run as a president or for the presidency, there are criteria you need to meet. And you first ran and you were successful and you became the president. So if the community or the board, let me use that word, if the board knew that you had this problem, why didn't the board raise the issue at first? They have to allow you to run and you become the president. And then at the second, term of you wanting to run as a president before then coming out all this issue. Why?
Okay, so let me just say this, because I'm not a board defender, or I'm not here to defend the board on this issue, but let me just put it this way. We went through the first process. We led this community. We were through the second process. We went to meetings. The elections commissions at meeting to qualify all the candidates came out and said these guys, and to be frank, the election commissioner, they call us. We went through the process. They call us. They gave us the access for documents and information, and we gave all of that to them. We went through the process. They went to the meeting, and they said these candidates are qualified to contest. The other team were there. They didn't raise an objection. Okay. They say you guys are qualified to contest. Go ahead, and campaign is ready. Go ahead and contest. We went out and did what we had to do. What the other team, what happened is, here are the facts, Bobby. On the Monday, I think it was the first, or yeah, it might have been the first, at 11:59, all the listing, because we're all going to community canvassing for votes.
Yes.
All the listing should have been turned in, and we all will know the numbers of people that will be voting. My opponents on the first submitted a list of totaling 339 persons registered to vote. We submitted a list representing 461 people registered to vote. So if you do just common math, we dropped that list by over 130 votes.
Yes.
That would be
That
definitely
means that
good.
if you go to any elections, your chance of winning are slim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why they reverted to this issue. They are using it because why didn't you bring this matter up 1 month before the election? Let it be resolved and then we'll go to the polls. But when you find out, as I said again, anywhere we know, all of our been through elections and something like that, anywhere we know, nobody who is in the driver's seat, they know they winning election will go tell somebody say, may I postpone the election, let investigate the person when you know you're winning. You will say, let's go to the polls, let me beat the person and let the person move from there.
Move from there. Yeah, that's true.
So
Yeah.
this is what's happening. So they are using this as a ploy. And that's why you see they were so adamant and they were pushing and they were pulling and they were on shows and they were doing everything because they think they were going to change people's minds. But people are resolved to vote for us. And I think they have come to the conclusion now is this not going to work for them. So that is the reason why. And to be frank, they wrote the board, they wrote the commissioners, and the commissioner told them we already vetted all candidates. We can't do anything about it. And then they sent that communication to the board. That's how the board took seize of it.
But I think if they continue this path, I think it's just going to cause more chaos in the community because I've been following for a while now. This I've been a part of. In couple of elections that have happened, there have always been problems in the election activities. Within our community. So this cannot just continue to happen. I think the community will have to take a stand because one thing repeating itself over and over and continues to happen, the community will have to take a stand. So if the board cannot come up with whatever decisions they want to come up with, that will be in the interest of the community will have to take a stand. So I just wanted to know, the root cause of that problem. But since you are making it explicit, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. But yeah, that's that. Look, my brother, that's the issue. And that's the reason. I've never been through election or made anywhere where a man who is winning election is very excited to announce a cancellation of any election before.
Yeah, thank you, Bobby. I will keep you on. Bobby, do you want to leave now?
I don't have anything to do anyways, but maybe you want to allow other people to come also.
No, 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 no. We can bring a lot of people on. Stay on. That's the that's tonight panel.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Stay on. I have a question for you guys too, but let's bring Cyrus on. Cyrus, do you want to weigh in here, or you have a specific question for the president, or you just want to add your input?
Yeah, maybe it goes to the president, and I just don't understand some things. I'm
Yes.
kind of a little bit confused. First of all, Mr. President, thank you for being on the show tonight for addressing your people.
Thank you, thank you.
My question here is that the second son of this month will have the constitution mandated meeting, right? There were resolutions and things that were passing those meetings, and now we're seeing the poll calling for another meeting. So the things that were discussed in the meeting, are those things will be banned on the association or not? Because there were things that were discussed in the meeting that were passed by the General Assembly. So will the things be binding on the association? Because the association, the General Assembly install you to continue your leadership. And there were other issues that were discussed in that particular constitutional mandated meeting. So will the things still take place or take effect apart from what the poll is having?
Thank you.
Yeah, look,
Very
the
good.
second Sunday is a constitutional mandated meeting.
Yeah.
If you ask AJ to read the first paragraph of the Constitution, it says the General Assembly is a major decision maker of the association. So whatever that the General Assembly decides, especially at our monthly sitting, is binding on everybody in the association. Just because you don't come to a meeting doesn't mean that it doesn't bind on you. Like, except we go to a meeting and we all agree to pay $20 for something. Just because you're not in that meeting doesn't mean that you're not bounded by what people agree to. So yes, it's binding. And and after the meeting, That was communicated through a formal letter to the board.
Yeah. So my next question is, why in case the board decided to endorse the decision that was taken by the general body on the constitutional maintainer meeting? Why in case the board decide to say, oh, you are not a president, you have the authority to call meeting. So whatever the assembly said to reinstate you, we did not recognize it and we did not accept it. What would be your plan of action?
Well, there's not my plan of action. I don't have any plan of action. The General Assembly, as a higher decision maker, can make decisions. If the board decided, I don't know how the board can even ignore the General Assembly, because the board is not a higher decision maker than the General Assembly. But if, again, I don't want to speculate on what people will do. If the board does that, they can do that at their own peril or whatever it is. The General Assembly is still there; they can make the decisions.
Okay.
So it left. I'm not a board member, and I'm not on the board, so I don't like to. I don't want to say what the board is thinking. But the executive and all the board cannot ignore the mandate from the General Assembly.
But
So,
VK, let
AJ,
me yeah.
let me just come here a little bit. Let me add to what I think Vicky just said. You know, the board, the General Assembly is the highest decision making body. Okay, the board is appointed or elected by the General Assembly.
that's
So,
right.
and the meeting is a constitutional meeting. So the board, after canceling the election for reasons best known to themselves, it was their boundary responsibility, knowing that that identical day is the time the body needs to have a meeting. That identical day was the time the board could have better come explain the reason for which
Yeah.
the election was canceled and make the body to be informed of their decisions they were going to take.
Why
But
are
they
we
refused
even
to attend the meeting.
Why are we
Yeah.
even going to the board
For
meeting?
sure. Yep.
They
Yep.
refused.
But
Yeah.
the question for you guys: should we even adhere to the board meeting? Who's supposed to call emergency meeting?
For me, I don't think so, because first of all, the president wrote them in 22 hours to respond, and they never responded in 24 hours.
When they're calling for a meeting,
And they call for a meeting.
That-
We are,
they
you
don't
know
want
what I'm saying?
to preside over the meeting. You could have said in the audience, Mr.
Yeah.
Karbo, why is the board calling for a meeting that we should adhere to? That's my question.
That's why
And-
I come in with this particular question on.
and that's not a second Sunday. It's a third Sunday. Third Sunday. So you see that? So they are going against the constitution.
So that's what I'm saying.
VK, hold on. If we
Yeah, go ahead.
adhere to the board meeting, guess what's going to happen? The board going to preside over the meeting, meaning that the board going to what? Not recognize the meeting that was held on
Yeah.
the second Sunday.
Yeah.
I would say that.
That's our plan. Yeah.
Because I've been hearing this in the corridor.
Yeah. Yeah.
Of
That's our
the
plan.
association. I've been hearing this in the corridor.
That's what I come in with.
I got also information. I got also information that that's the plan.
Yeah,
That's the
I've been
plan.
hearing that.
Listen, that's what I'm saying. The board, I know that for a fact. Constitutionally, the board at any meeting, general meeting or emergency meeting called by the executive or the board cannot ignore the General Assembly.
No,
Constitutionally. Let's be clear. The board cannot ignore the General Assembly. Constitutionally. Now, based on the crisis we are having, and the board is going to this meeting because they say they want to speak to the issues, and we are going to this meeting because we want to deal with two issues, basically. The General Assembly are still the highest decision maker at any meeting.
Who preside over this meeting?
Who are the General Assembly?
No,
Who are they?
The General Assembly is
Who
basically
going to call the
the
meeting?
body.
Who going to present the agenda?
The whole body.
It's not you, VK. The board is playing the game right there. The board is playing cat and mouse game because the board knows that you were supposed to call an emergency meeting on Sunday. The board went ahead of you and called the meeting on Sunday. And guess what? Where you supposed to call your meeting, the board went ahead of you and secured that place.
Because after they obey the time you gave them 24 hours to respond, and they never responded, so that they knew that you were going to call for emergency meeting. They come in Sunday, so they went ahead and scheduled a meeting real quick. So they play a smart game. Yeah.
But guess what? The cat and mouse game is this. They're the cat and they want to make it a mouse. They want to chase you down.
But as I said again, AJ, the General Assembly in this association at any meeting dwarfs anything. So the general body of this association, we are the highest. The body is the highest decision makers at
Yeah.
any meeting.
So, Mr.
So for
President,
me,
if you saying general body, is that a general body calling for meeting or not a
no, 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 no,
board?
The bull.
no. What we're saying is, at
Mm,
any meeting, once the general body sit down,
okay.
those who are at meeting, any
Yeah.
decision that is made there, the general body is the people who accepts or
Okay.
rejects
Or
what comes
rejects.
from any of the leadership. I can call meeting and I say, my
Okay.
people, I want to do this, this, and this. The body can, somebody can work as Mr. President with nothing to do with, we talk about the issues, and the body can put a motion to vote if they want it or not. If they say yes,
Okay.
fine. If they say no, we move on from there. So the general body is the people who would make the decision. The board does not make decision in a vacuum.
So
Yeah.
The
what
board
Okay.
can
what
say,
what what if the board decides that there's no voting?
the
We
board
agree. We
cannot
the
decide that, but brother, you can't go. The board cannot go to a meeting and decide there's no voting.
But that's
Okay.
what
That's not
The
Brian
bull.
saying
that's not how
just
it
here.
works.
The bull can suggest.
Yeah,
The
Hey,
the
board
board
can
is for them.
suggest, and the body,
Brian, Brian,
There's no
Brian,
voting on the
Yeah,
meeting.
Brian.
yeah.
The bull is not a dictator. The bull is not going to dictate to the body.
No.
Okay.
Everything that is going to be done is going to be suggested. So now
Okay.
it's left with the body to agree or not.
Okay.
Okay.
So the
My
boy is
okay.
not going to
I
come and
got a
say,
question.
the boy is not going to come and say, oh, since this and this and this and this, if I we're going to spearhead a meeting or we're going to dismiss DK or he's not going to be president again, we're going to they'll have to suggest because the body is the highest decision making. Okay,
Okay.
the body elects the bull. The bull is answerable to the body.
Yeah.
The body is not answerable to the bull.
Okay.
So the body have the more authority than than the bull.
PK, this
Listen.
this is my warning to you. I will call it a public warning, and from after the show, I will publish something tomorrow. The bull has set a trap. If the bull if the board really want to call for a meeting, they will not use this Sunday. And they said they run the and they said they want fill in the leadership vacuum. There is no leadership vacuum. The leadership vacuum that they created, they're doing their own thing. The body has reinstalled you to continue your leadership until election. You're supposed to call a general emergency meeting, even though it's not a constitutional mandated meeting. You are supposed to call the meeting. The board will be present at this meeting to present, to talk to the people about
Yeah.
the findings, about the next election date. That's all they're supposed to do. About that, if the investigation and all the election date, whatever findings they give, the body will vote upon it. Okay? But what the boy is doing is if you adhere to this that meeting on Sunday, in which I believe you have done that, it's gonna be a chaos at the meeting. And I'm very, very gonna cautiontize you. I may not be present at the meeting. You know why I may not be present at the meeting? I don't want for cops to appear at Faith Covenant Church because I'm going to lose my composure and I don't want to put myself in a predicament.
Let me say this to you, AJ. At the end of the day, we are leaders in this community, and we have to be cognizant of how we handle issues. There are a lot of issues that are happening. We got to handle them with care. Look, that meeting, I'm asking you or appealing to you should be there. You are in the media also to cover the meeting,
You are in the
Yeah.
media. You are
and
a person.
we should also understand. Some of these issues we want to resolve them. Look, the board is not above the General Assembly.
Yeah.
Let me show you.
So the board themselves, as you said, I think the General Assembly are going to, they have had their own violations, and that could be dealt with at the meeting. The body have reinstated me. We can have a meeting, and we can preside over a portion of the meeting and turn the meeting to the board when they're discussing about their findings and all those other things. Those are things that can be put in place. But again, we don't want to have this community go down to the place where it becomes chaotic and then we cannot resolve issues. We are using Faith Confident Church. The last meeting was there. We were able to control that, and it did not go out of hand. There were people, you were there, people were making their points, but we were able to control it. I think we can do the same.
Yeah.
We can control, but we can also make our voices be heard. So I think at the end of the day, it's a balancing act, AJ. It's a balancing act. We have to make sure.
Are you telling me before this meeting start, and gentlemen listening, and the audience should listen, before the meeting commences, even though the board calling upon the meeting and you concurring to that, but before the meeting occur, are we going to put the motion to the body who presides over the meeting? Because
But
the
you can
board,
do that. But what stops you from doing that? What
eh?
stops you from doing that?
No,
But what stops the body from doing that?
Figure,
You preside over this meeting.
figure.
Unless you say this is a board meeting, it's not a community meeting. If the board says this is a board meeting, it's not a community meeting, if they don't recognize the body, then what the essence of we even say
But
maybe
I don't think the board cannot call a board meeting. If the board call a board meeting, then only 9 people will be there. So if the board cannot say that they are calling a board meeting and they can't recognize the community, it doesn't work that way.
Okay.
If you are calling a board meeting, only 9 persons should be at a board meeting. Or board call meetings, only 9 persons should be there.
Or board members only.
So the board cannot call. There's no way constitution that the board can ever have a meeting of the association and say the body cannot be recognized as a board call. A board call meeting, only 9 people will be at the meeting. So 9 people at the meeting, they have their own leadership that runs that meeting. So there's no way. I don't see, I understand what you're saying, but I don't see the correlation of the board saying that they call a meeting and they don't recognize the body. Then who are you speaking to?
So, Mr. President, so the meeting is not a general meeting.
Well, it's a general meeting, but it's an emergency general meeting because our regular meeting has passed.
Okay. Emergency general meeting.
Okay.
Bobby,
Yes.
the question for Bobby and Cyrus and my man Brian. Who is calling an emergency general meeting? Because they knew that the president gave them 24 hours to
Well, I didn't give them what the body said, so I just wrote what the general assembly told me.
Huh?
The body gave the board 24 hours to respond. It's not the president, not the body.
Instructed you, Mr. President.
Exactly.
The body, it was a motion. The body instructed you, please write the board, give them 24 hours to respond to see if they can come up with an election date or some kind of general statement. The board didn't adhere to your 24 hour, okay? And now they're calling a general meeting. My question is to you guys: who presides over this meeting this coming Sunday?
Can I come in?
Yeah.
I think the board should preside because they're calling for the emergency meeting. The board going to reside on that meeting. That's what I was saying. I said the board going to reside on that meeting. Whatever decision they will make, it depends the body to agree to what they will say. So we can encourage the body to show up.
If the board
Yeah.
over the meeting, let me tell you what's going to happen. Let me give you a prediction. Let me have Bobby and Sarah speak first. Go ahead.
Yes. For my belief, and from according to the Constitution, the president was reinstated. Let me say reinstated, but he was installed in the office to continue the return to election.
Mhm.
So there is no leadership vacuum that says, because if there's no leadership at this point, then the board can the board can spearhead the meetings. But I believe the president is the one to spearhead the meeting and introduce the board to address the Liberian people on election matters.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, you're right. That makes sense.
Because the president is still the president, because he was maintained to continue the term until election.
Yes.
So he's still recognized as the president. He's not ex-president. There's no leadership vacuum.
Nope.
So per the board decision, he should preside over the meeting,
Yeah.
introduce the board, and let the board address the people.
You hit the nail on his head. I repeat, you hit the nail on his head. Go ahead, Bobby.
I think it's going to be really chaotic, as AJ said. Okay. I think there's a little bit of power struggle here. Okay. According to the Constitution, from what I heard, I have not read the Constitution, right? Okay.
I can send you a copy of it.
President did expire.
I need a copy too, brother.
They were to have
Or
the
I will inbox you. I
election.
got a copy of it.
Let Bobby
Yeah.
speak now. Let
They
Bobby.
were to have his term expired. They were to have the election, and in the process of having the election, this problem came about. And from what Vani Saki, the former president, from what he said when he was in current situation the other day, whenever there is about to be an election, and then a problem of such exists, within the process, the board takes in or takes over. Hold on, AJ. I'm quoting from him. I'm quoting from Vani.
You quote him for Vanning. This is the Constitution.
But,
Come from
but,
Okay, if,
don't quote for
if
Vanning.
the constitution does not says that, or
Yeah,
if that's what the constitution says, right from what you guys are saying, I think Van Brother Vika should take over the meeting, but he did not call the meeting.
yeah,
If he could have
that's
called
the
the
part I can do.
meeting,
Yeah,
if he could have called a meeting,
yeah.
that could be a constitutional right
yeah.
to take over the meeting.
There
But
you,
he did not call the meeting.
there
The
you go.
board did call the meeting. So I think the board have a hidden agenda for
Thank
which
you.
they
Thank
did
you.
call the meeting. The board have a hidden agenda for which the meeting that was to be held last week, they did not attend to that meeting.
There you go.
So there is something that the board have and they want to implement.
And let
So
me.
I think
That, that,
the only thing we can do, we need to consultize every member,
Oh,
every resident who's Liberian that resides in Iowa to
yeah.
be part of that meeting.
Yeah.
Because
that's the same thing.
whatever decision the board comes up with, it is level the body to accept it or reject it.
All right.
That is, you know what? Okay, hold on, prayer. Let me just, okay. The same thing Bobby just said, that's the same thing. First of all, the person don't have no agenda. He don't know what on the agenda,
Oh, you don't?
right? Okay, so the person cannot, or see the whole meeting because lot of board they know what they're about to say. That's what they put for the meeting. So now they do that. He's the ex-president.
Yeah.
So I feel that the thing the person have no power to rule on any agenda. They are making a decision.
Let
You
me
see that?
follow up before
Yeah.
the president come in.
Yeah,
So
go ahead.
I keep saying, VK. Usually, I've been knowing VK. Even he always maintain a composure. Unlike me, I lose my composure. Don't get me wrong. VK maintain composure to me, and most of you guys know me. I lose my composure quick. I think I'm still working on. I'm still working on it. But I tell him, if I come to that meeting, I will lose my composure. Don't get
So now you the media person, so you got to cool it down.
Yeah, I will, I
Yeah.
will, I will try my best. But VK is ready to maintain a composure. But I don't understand if VK really know that the bull has set trap for him by calling this.
AJ,
No,
I
let me.
think he
AJ,
does.
I don't
I
think it's
think he
AJ,
set
does.
trap
He
for him.
does.
AJ,
Okay?
He
AJ.
does.
Yeah,
You,
We
you have
set
to
trap for him.
understand, as I said again, you
yeah,
have to understand from where we are coming. We're trying to take our community somewhere, right? And as I said again, the board have their own thing going, executive has their own thing going, the general body has their own thing going. The board can come and say anything at any meeting. The General Assembly has the prerogative to accept it or deny it.
Yes.
The board does not make the board is not so matter of fact, the board is that job is mostly for oversight. So based on this crisis, because they have a level of investigation and they postpone the elections based on their oversight, they have to come back and say, guys, these are our findings, and and you know here's the election date. Is it? I said again, we live in the biggest democracy on earth. They can take somebody to the regular court here and find them guilty. They may appeal to the appeals court, and the appeal court can find not guilty. Okay, so now they can even carry them to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court can find a person not guilty, or there's a case that happened. So any day, so the board can make any decision. It left for the general body to accept that decision or reject the decision. And who is the general body? It's the community.
The community, yeah.
It's the community. So if the board is trying to set a trial, maybe they're setting a trial for themselves. They don't even know. I don't know.
I know, that's what I said.
Because you can be trying to set a trial for somebody when you're looking behind somebody else might be looking behind you.
So
Again, as I said, I don't want to speculate on what the board is going to do. I'm not on the board. I'm not a member of the board. I don't like to speculate on what people are going to do. But I know what me and my team is doing, and I know what the community is all about. And if you went for last meeting and you talk to people in this community, people are resolved to do the right thing, and people are going to come there, and people are going to question the board also because they want to find out why you guys have not said anything to now. So, but I don't think we should get to the point where our meetings, Liberian people will not do anything for a long time, right? We shouldn't get to the point where our meetings is so chaotic that we cannot come to a conclusion.
Yeah,
That's
you
where
have
the
a
real
bad impact on the
chaos
community.
starts. Exactly. So we should be in a position to say, look, even though we're upset about one or two things, but let's go to this meeting. Let's resolve these issues and let's move on so we put the community back on the right track.
Yeah, and I just want to tell King Dada watching, I sent you the link. Jenkins, I sent you the link. Jefferson Cooper, I sent you the link. So any of you guys want to come on, like I said, we can bring more people on here. We can bring up to 10 to 12 people on the platform. So let me just say something here, Vicky. And I understand that you believe that the body should be pretty much informed and will make that decision to see if the board will chair the meeting or what's on the agenda. This is what I suggest. If I do go to the meeting, all right, I suggest that before the meeting starts, the motion is put out to the body. I see the body, even though the board called the meeting, the president was supposed to call the meeting and preside over the meeting because he was reinstalled. But even though the board called a meeting and the community is adhering to this meeting, we want to put the motion on the table. Who will preside over the meeting? The president or the board? Before we start. Because if we don't do that, the board preside over the meeting, they're going to hammer this man and they're going to not recognize the decision that was made by the body last week. They're going
Yeah,
to,
but
they're going to feel
AJ,
they're the
AJ,
one. So
AJ,
yeah.
AJ,
AJ. I think, oh, bro, you come up quick. I think, first of all, the president never called for a meeting. It's the board. So, that question you asked me, definitely they're going to say the board called for a meeting, isn't it?
Yeah. Let
So,
me
that was a smart play. They play a smart game. They both play a smart game, isn't it? So, they'll definitely tell you that it's the board called for a meeting. You see? So, yeah, so now I don't know, but
let me
I'm the board.
to
let me
me,
respond to Jefferson Cooper. He wrote a comment here, and I don't understand why he even want to say this. He said, "AJ, the constitution you have with you have been amended and is no longer in use. The current version was amended in 2019. The 2019 is clear as to who takes charge when there's a leadership vacuum, as it is right now." Mr. Cooper, there is no leadership vacuum right now. That's the truth. No leadership vacuum right now. The president
But
is still in charge.
but I think the second thing is Cooper, even the 2019
Yes,
comes.
leadership. There
But
is no leadership vacuum.
But do they have to a new constitution? Do
but
they have
AJ,
This is the amended constitution here. This is the copy.
what the 2019 one?
I don't know what he's talking about.
that's it right there.
That's it.
That's a
The
most recent
2019.
constitution. I
Yeah.
don't know what year, but I know that's the most recent constitution. But AJ, as I said again, I said again, selective understanding of the constitution is one of the problems in our community. Um, the General Assembly is the highest decision because in every constitution that has been held by the Liberian Association. So when people jump over aspects of the constitution just to quote a place that they think they could work, the General Assembly can decide who takes over the executive, even within a vacuum. The General Assembly can decide that at a general meeting because they have the highest decision making body. It's not automatic for the board. Now, the General Assembly can agree that the board takes over, or
Yes.
agree to an interim government, or agree to the leadership that's there to extend. So, instead again, some guys read the Constitution and read a portion that they think works on their behalf, but don't forget about other parts of the Constitution.
I
So, I
think
mean, that would be the Mr. Cooper
I think
statement.
Mr. Cooper is reading the 2001 or 2 constitution.
Even if he reads the 2019
The
Constitution, the
2019.
2019
I want to
Constitution
see the
still
2019.
divides
So
the
he's reading the
body.
2001. Let's welcome King Dada. Dada is one of the Demon Iowa permanent resident. He was at the meeting where the body installed Mr. Vicky. Well, Dada, I would like to welcome you on current situation. What say you about this issue that is going on, your input?
I mean, how you doing, guys? How you guys doing?
how
So
you doing, brother?
We just ready to hammer you tonight.
What's up, Dala?
the best
Wait,
new man, no,
wait,
like the
me
best
say
new
we're
man
ready
I
to
ever.
hammer me.
AJ,
Uh,
AJ,
yeah.
AJ, you need to promote the man business. They made the best new man in Des Moines, Iowa.
I mean,
The best new man officer.
I
I don't
want
know
My
go
man,
to
let's talk politics
go
here,
to
but
that different time, man.
eh,
But guys,
That's it.
yo, all right, guys, listen up, right? How you guys doing? I hope everybody doing well. This thing, the community here, we all family. So we should be mindful how we handle this situation. You know, at the end of the day, anybody win, it's still going to be ruining the whole community. So let's just try to start, you know, try to turn the thing out of a big issue. You know, I think since the board call for meeting that up, we all go there and hear what the board got to say, and then we can go by the constitution and and take it from there. You know, instead of we holding, putting here back in there, the community for all of us. So let's try to bring it together instead of dividing it, as the president said. Let's bring it together instead of instead of the division. Because if at the end of the day, the community was once divided before. We call we call pastor then to to put it back together, and now we're back together. So I think whosoever can be on, whosoever team be on, we all like we all want the same goals and the same stuff for our community. So as the president said, the president is a calm man. So I think we all should follow his full step and be calm and stop making it out a big issue. So I think that's my input.
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
AJ, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, why not, my man? We are
All right.
playing tonight.
Dada,
Yeah.
my question is, it was right for Dolly to announce the postponement of election during the debate?
I wasn't there. He announced it and I was wrong.
Okay, that's it. No comment for that.
All right,
I think the election commission and people that are appointed to for the election should announce anything that regard to the elections.
Thank you. All
So
right, that's it. All right.
thank you, King Dada. We welcome here, Brian, not Brian, but Bobby. You have any question for Dada, or and then the rebuttal to his statement?
No, it's not a rebuttal. I think that is making a lot of sense. And the community have been, divided for quite a long time, and things are getting to to fall into place. So we should not allow this situation to to divide the community as it was, because I can remember certain time we had two group of president. They were having the independence celebration. The other people were having it on the other side. The other people were having it on the other side. And everything boils down to the Liberian community. So I think we have come a long way. People should not be fighting their own battle in back home in Liberia, and we here wherein people expect better from us, but we are doing worse than them. I think it's not a good thing. But again, the ball is answerable to the body. That's what I want everyone to understand. So whatsoever decision the board will come up with, once it is not in the interest of the body, I think the body have the right to debunk it, to reject it, or whatever decision the body wants to take. The body is the higher decision making. The board is just like an OSC, like a supervisor. Whatever it is to oversee, whatever activities or guidance. So that's just what I think. So going to the meeting is not a bad thing, but what is being said within the meeting, they're where the problem is going to come about. Because if the board goes on the contrary, the body going to actually raise up against it or rise up against it.
Okay. And Mr. former President, Mr. Stephen Sewell is watching. We're going to send him the link. Mr. Sewell, thank you for joining us. We'll send you the link here. This is a very important discussion here. It's just 10 p.m. We have more time. Any of our guests who feel necessary to leave, you can leave. If you want to stay, stay. But also, when you're not speaking, what I advise you to do, if you can please put your mute button on here, so that way we can eliminate or regulate the background noise. So, a good point here. So, and I'm not going to lie, Dada and Bobby is right that you guys are encouraging us to go to the meeting. Like I said, for me, I got temper, and everybody know. I will go to the meeting, but I will try my best. I will look in the mirror to see if I can inhale and exhale.
So AJ, let me ask
You
you, right?
bring it, man.
AJ, are you
You scared,
let
AJ.
me ask AJ. Let me ask AJ. AJ, are you campaigning or are you running a reporter network? Which one are you doing?
No.
Let me answer that. That's a very good question. Everybody keeps saying I'm on vegan side. I'm not on vegan side. But I'm playing.
I didn't say you're on vegan
Let
side.
me finish now. But better you ask me. Let me speak. I will let you opine.
All right.
I'm playing a dual
Don't blow
role.
here now.
I'm not bloviating.
Okay.
I'm playing a dual
You are
role.
enjoying the no spin zone.
Let me get a bloviate.
So I am playing a dual role. I am being the media, and also I take my media hat off. I'm being a concerned citizen. I am not on Viga's side. Viga, do you think I'm being biased here? Let's be honest.
Well, during the election, I received very less coverage on your show.
Thank you. You see that?
But
My thing, right? My thing, VK, my thing is, right?
Brian, hold
No,
on.
Brian, let that
My
out.
thing is, if AJ gonna be a reporter, let him still with the reporter join report the issues on ground instead of picking side.
Dada,
You know,
Dada.
so yeah.
It's hard. You know the reason why? I've been following AJ for a while now, right?
Yeah.
Okay, what AJ is doing, he's doing it because of his passion.
Yeah.
The community have not given AJ. I have not seen that since I've been in Iowa 2014. I moved here, right? I have
Yeah.
not seen the community appoint AJ as a community reporter. Everything AJ does, he does it because of his passion. He improvises to the community. And in so doing, we should not forget to know that AJ is a community dweller.
Thank you.
Whatsoever thing that goes wrong in the community, it affects AJ because why? AJ is a Liberian and he lives within the community.
Thank you.
So if until the community can provide this office, can provide this for AJ to say, okay, you are going to be a community reporter, and then he will work on that. Until that can happen, he will have to play the dual role because he wants to see the community become a better place. Once the community become a better place, everyone will be satisfied. We all will live, in a peaceful harmony.
Bobby,
But
if
if
you
that can happen, I think that's where the problem is. So AJ, he have the right to, to diversify his
thank you,
ability.
Bobby. And Bobby just said it all. Bobby, if you're a person if you're Henderson drinker, I go about you, we share it. We toast. And Bobby just, make it clear. I have not been hired to say, AJ, you are a community reporter. Please report just the issue. Keep your feeling to yourself. I have never been asked to do that. Dada knows, all right? When Dada met me, I was an amateur reporter for Iowa Liberian, but when Dada came with Pink and Black, I kind of put that on hold. We focus on 3 King. I was back and forth. I understand sometimes I get out of composure. Don't get me wrong, brother. I do. You know when I get out of composure? When I put on my concerned citizen hat. I'm just reporting because I have passion for this. Me and Jefferson Cooper profession. I didn't go to school for journalism. No. Do I violate some of the rules? A lot of the rules.
A lot, yeah.
I'm a promoter. I'm a community organizer. I'm a reporter. And I'm a concerned citizen. So I didn't go to school, to journalist school, to say, okay, AJ, you got to follow the rule. And the community did not hire me. I'm just reporting to give the community information as needed. That's one of my passions.
AJ, let me come in quick. First of all, I'll get a little problem with Dada for saying you taking your side.
Yeah.
We all in America, we know all the media. We know CNN, we got Fox News, we got all those news, we know who the fuck. Okay? So it's not a crime for any media institution to take a side. It's not a crime. We all in America, we fight news. No, man, you are saying you are Silesian too. So now, but that thing, you my brother, it's not a crime for a person or for media to take a side. We hear America. Before when I fight in America, I let's see it or lab. When I start watching it, when I start heading down Trump, I swear to Fox.
So you are fighting.
Okay?
So you're a Donald Trump man?
Man, I'm a Donald Trump man. I'm a Republican.
You're a Republican.
Yes, I love Donald Trump. You know what? Donald Trump
But man, you start our community politics.
A bigger taking a side and not a parent. Let me take a side. Even here, America, but all me that thing.
Republican, my man.
Huh?
You Republican?
Yeah.
Is it a crime to be a Republican?
Huh?
Is it a crime to be a Republican?
Good
It's
question.
not a crime.
Oh, hey,
Eh,
man, just
I
say
don't
he's a
stand for what it
Republican.
represents.
No, I'm a
That's
Republican.
your
Republican
personal.
are very
That's your
good
personal
party.
view.
Bobby,
Republican are good party.
Bobby,
Republican.
My man, Brian.
Bobby,
Yeah.
See that shit. That's all I want to
Bobby,
play, bro.
Bobby,
Okay.
we will go back on the
I
Liberian
mean,
topic.
the reason why a lot of black people support the Democrat Party because
Mm.
Democrat represent our view and our values.
That's not true. That's not
Yeah.
true. You got it wrong. You don't know it. That's not true.
I
That's
mean,
not true, bro.
let's go to our community.
I mean, let hold the
Yeah,
debate.
leave
We
that
can
one.
discuss Democratic and
We will,
Republican
we
politics.
will,
I
we
know,
will,
right?
Yeah.
we will schedule
Yeah, let's talk about what
We were
content the
scheduled.
community, please.
with
We were scheduled.
but I want to warn my brother that if that the perception you have, that's wrong. The
Yep.
put us into the hole. I'm not
Yeah.
a Democrat, I'm not a Republican, I'm an independent liberal.
You're not independent. You're how you call it, Republican because
No, I'm not.
oh,
There you go again. You said, man,
baby,
the
I
man
know you.
take
You're Republican. I know you.
Just because
Bill
I,
O'Reilly, you watch Bill
just
O'Reilly
because
every
I,
single day.
just because I idolize Bill O'Reilly, he's my idol.
So
Yeah, just because I like to watch the O'Reilly
man,
Factor.
anybody that watch 5 News, you Republican. So yeah, leave that straight.
No, it's not true.
I mean, let's see the our committee.
Now the community issue. There you go.
That's
So
football. I want
next
to talk about.
next year we can join to our politics. Republican Democrat, we can join to it. Next year, election coming.
Okay.
Joe Biden will be one
Yeah,
time president.
so guys, what I'm saying, right? We all want good for the community, so let's start, holding things here and then I'll bring issue and problem, because
Yeah.
I understand the past, most of the leaders are let us down, and when it comes to voting, we go extreme to bring people to come vote, but then after that, we just forget about the energy we put into the election process, the voting process. So if we can put our same energy into bringing people to come to meeting every meeting times, look at the program they had in Ohio the other time, for how you call it, Independence Day. We got the largest Liberian in the United States right now, Des Moines, Iowa. So we need to do better, guys. Don't start fighting. Let's bring the community together.
I was
Dada, even
program in Ohio.
even
Can you give
Dada,
us it?
even in North Carolina.
Yeah.
North Carolina, the amount of Liberians that were there doing the independent, they were not enough. Even the media had to come to cover their independent celebration. Can you imagine?
We can do bigger than that.
Yeah, the TV station came to cover their celebration. We just need to do better in the community. I mean, we can really do better, but
A few years ago, I remember we had a permit and we went through downtown. AJ, remember? So we had the Liberian flag. We marched through downtown. We came right from the.
When so la which year?
That was like maybe 6 years ago, but I think
Wow.
we did it twice before we celebrated the independence from the capital, and we marched. The same thing we did during the Ukraine march.
You can work okay. Wow, that's good.
Yeah.
But you gotta do it this year,
Had the
man.
Liberian flag.
2024, no
We
plan
go out,
2024.
We will do that when we re-elect or elect the right person.
No, let me be both to public rather. You guys, army to that place for me. Remember, I love sport. I love little when I say Liberia, I'm a Liberian man. I love my country. You gotta pour some all in some position. Not because we don't know book. That one about book, but they add there the knowledge. Yeah,
Brian,
I'm telling you guys.
Leslie,
Yeah.
Why you call Bo? Why you consider Bo Brian?
Oh no,
Brian,
man.
Bo
So people can say,
Brian.
oh, they make it talk, they make them that, but we got a brain. We got out there.
available.
Me
I
as
do.
a brave man.
Figure no, I always talking to him. The person I always talking to him. But say I've been to Dima, I know he been out Liberia to the North Tower, and I'm not part of them. I don't even the tower.
Right now, we'll get a minute to change the benefit of doubt. If not, second round, we're taking what the community. We'll come
Do you
to
attend meetings,
war party.
Brian?
Huh?
So, gentlemen,
No, we not made up. We not made Dima great again. Like Minnesota, people could come from Minnesota and cry out too. They bring
So,
on top of
Donald
the
Trump.
kind for all.
so gentlemen, let's
Yeah,
proceed.
but the issue is, Brian, as everybody is saying, is elections, you get the largest participation. And then after elections, everybody go back to status quo,
True,
right? And
Yeah.
true.
and that's the real issue. I think our community, we need to be more than that. We need to not only just talk about elections, or we need to be more active in doing a
Yeah,
lot of things in the community. People got to make themselves. I know we're all busy people, but people got to make themselves available again. The promoters, people in different aspects of society, got to make themselves a little bit available to do some work for the community. You will see that there'll
true.
be growth. So
For me, I'm
so
available
that has
anytime.
to be
Anytime weekend, I'm
that
available
has
weekend.
to be
When I have any program, anything you're doing to help a poor around there to the beach store, I'm available to come and do my part.
right, and that has to be
Yeah.
something that I always say to the we have to consciously, we have to deliberately make ourselves available to help our community. It's just not talk. It's just not all yeah. Election time. Let's go vote. You can vote me back in, fine. But what happens when after election? How many meetings will you attend in 12 months? How many times will you donate to the community? How many times will you come in and pay your dues? Is how do we generate money? So those are things that even with the media, those are things that we got to work with them and say, look, guys, over the next 2 years, how will we be able to get more people, not just to come out for elections, but to come out to be more active in the community during these times? Because we're talking about $10 due, 100. Imagine if 800 people pay $120.
That's almost
Yeah,
That is a lot
96,000.
of
but
money that the community
the
can be
president,
using.
96,000 plus.
the
Right.
president depend too on the committed citizen of the mind. People that are committed, like you know that they are very committed. They can do that.
But that's what I'm saying. We gotta make everybody have a level of commitment to the community. It's not if it's not just election time, you should be committed.
Exactly.
You should be committed after the elections. You should be committed,
Sure.
In because this is community service, my brother.
So I
This
have a
community
question,
service.
right? I have a question. So
But
what
but
if
but
you not part of the Liberian Association chat room? You don't know what's going on in Tine? Because I guess you can have a chat room with a lot of people inside. I heard that they have over 4,000 people in that chat room.
Yeah, no,
You
we
know,
don't. The Liberians, we ain't got no chat room. I got 4,000 points, but we do have
oh,
a chat room.
I heard from passing part of sources inside something like I think AJ show.
Let's do this.
You
DJ,
know,
why can't you add Brian to the chat room?
No, Brian gonna be out of the chat room. Brian,
Yeah,
I'm gonna add
yeah.
you to the chat room. I
Add
didn't
it to
have
the
but
Brian
my
number. I'm gonna
Martin,
add you to the chat room. But
Martin,
but the Liberian community, we have the chat room. We get on the shows. As I said again, we have to have a commitment of not just a few, but the many. In community service, you need the many.
yeah.
In Liberian Association, you need the many. And this elections is there. People are coming out. People are speaking. That's fine. We're energized. Let's have, somebody said, Justin, let's have that same energy after the election. Because what happens is 6 months after the election, everybody loses steam and everybody go back to what they were doing. And then the community goes, and then when it comes to election, everybody won't come to meeting. Because it seems like as a community or Liberians as a whole, not just in Iowa, we are more drawn to the chaotic.
I
When
think
there's a
Can
level
I
of
say
chaos, we are
something?
I
there.
think
Can I
I
come here
think
a little bit?
yeah, go ahead,
Yeah,
brother,
go
go ahead.
ahead.
Yeah, this coming this happened because after the election, the leadership does not. You see, people wants to have that form of belonging.
Right.
yes.
And how do you go about that? The only thing I observed that you will see the Liberian community so far since I've been in Iowa here since 2014, you will see the Liberian community mostly involving when it comes to independence celebration.
Right.
I think if the leadership will be proactive enough to be, organizing other activities that would, because when the youth
Thank you.
actually see these things going on in the community, you don't have to wait for independence. So now the community, the independent, the administration just get ready and say, okay, we are announcing like in July or in June or in January, right after the summer, we're gonna have a back to school something. We're gonna do this, and you invite the kids, you invite people. Sometimes the community just get ready and say, okay, so we're having a soccer tournament.
Yeah.
Invite people from different states. I think the
What's up
administration,
there?
the incoming administration should be proactive enough to initiate other activities Once those things are happening, it will encourage other members. It will
Yeah.
encourage community dwellers to want to be part of these things. But
I agree.
after election, you don't see anything happening until they say independence celebration. At the time, people zeal and momentum have already died.
Right, I agree. I totally agree with your point. I agree.
All right.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
my thing is right.
yeah, go ahead, Dada.
My thing is, you know, the candidate put a lot of effort to come to people, you know, go vote, do this, do that. You know, I think if they can put that same energy after election, bring the community together, have events, especially for the kids. You know, have program for the kids, like computer classes and all the things, or winter time, like you can find or how you call it, a church that got an indoor or basketball court that we can carry the kids that they play some basketball during the winter to keep them, you know. So if we do those things, people will be more attracted to the how you call it, to the organization. But when the how you call it, the leadership, when they come around, when they need our vote, after our vote, they're gone. They're doing their own thing, you know. Like we used to do Three Kings and Blast Out. We used to do I and Barrow game July 4th weekend. But then when you came on board, we pass it on to y'all.
So hold on. You said July 4 weekend or July 26.
We used to do it July 4th, I and Barrow game.
But
Three
like,
Kings,
maybe, so
Genesis,
why
It
would you
doesn't
guys do
matter
it?
what
American
time,
Independence?
right?
Huh?
It
huh?
doesn't matter what time they do it.
American
If they
is
What
it
I'm
American
trying to say,
Independence Day?
what I'm trying to say, we were doing it, but then we'll
Uh,
pass it out to the Liberian leadership. But then
okay.
everything just dies down. You know, like AJ can testify. When we do the independent, they used to be packed. We used to call crowd. Okay, not independent, but I am Barrow game. But then we'll pass it out to them. Say, okay, send the we got a new president, a new guy that into sports, so we'll pass it up to them. And then guess what? It just everything just went down. So
I
I
think
hope this new whosoever that win, I think they need to be more involved into the community. You know, they need to come out. You know, so I hope to see
Dada,
that. Yeah.
I think yeah, they should come up with a calendar of events.
let's all come in small because I just been quiet.
Come up with a calendar of events.
I'm listening. I'm just listening.
Sorry, already guys things doing. Come up with a calendar of events. After like quarterly, you know, what I'm just suggesting to you, bro VK, in case,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, it makes sense. Makes
yeah.
sense.
Figure that before, figure that before when me first got elected, let me have the whole Canada even. Let me that be before, but later on it depends how people who are committed. Let
You
me
know,
that before.
But let
We
let,
need
let,
we
let,
need
let Bobby
committed
finish. Or
people.
let Bobby finish. About
Yeah.
one of let
yeah.
Bobby finish.
Gentlemen,
Like I was saying,
let's speak one at a time here because you have 6 panelists here. I want everybody to
yeah.
get a point across because I got two questions for you guys, but I'm just waiting for you to finish speaking.
Bro Brian, why you saying I have not seen it? And I follow one good thing I like about AJ. I'm not saying it because he's out here. Any
Mm.
information, because I travel a lot. Any information I want to get, the very place, even if I go to Iowa, maybe they're having something anywhere, I go on AJ page. Once you go on AJ page, anything you want to know about Iowa that is happening, you will see it.
Yeah.
So, like what I was suggesting to Bro VK is like, if you having to, stay into power or you win the next election, I think there should be a kind of even, and mostly it should be directed to the youth. It should be youth focused, things that the youth will be part of. Because once the youth, the kids like what that I said, when you take the kids for soccer game, you will win their mothers over or you will win their fathers over. You see like what Pastor Sarah's doing? He gets some of us to go on soccer field because our children are there playing, so we got to go there. So once you organize a soccer tournament for the kids, the mothers will be part of it, the sisters will be part of it, the fathers will be part of it. So those are things. Come up with a calendar of events that will be mostly youth center or kids center, in that you'll be able to win the older people over.
I agree with you, Bobby. Very good point.
Yeah.
So let's
Uh,
let's go to the comments. President, you want to say something?
No. Go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah.
All right,
Can I?
let's. Yeah, Cyrus, go ahead. Who gave you the?
Yeah. One of the things that I've been observing over the years, and the president talked about it, is the poor attendance of meetings, right? the meetings of the association can be very, very poor. I've attended a series of meetings, and you won't believe a whole association. You see, sometimes you see 20 and 10 people. So what I was discussing with, I think Mr. Kubo, somebody, I think it was one of the board members, I was discussing with them, and I told them we are in the 21st century. You guys still having meeting like in the 80s and the 90s, because the meeting 95% of the time the meeting can be boring. What can we do to encourage more people to come for these meetings? That was one of the questions I asked one of the board members. What can we do? Because he said that, oh, you guys time of election, you guys are all excited, you're all into this. After election, you run away. So I said, no, there should be a strategy in place that we can put in place that can encourage young people and the community at large to come for meeting. And I discussed few points with him on how we can do that to make more people come for meeting.
And just to follow up there, Vicky, whoever wins the election,
Yeah.
that's a key point because before meeting used to be packed and Liberian people want to drop all the way on the south side to the hall. The meeting used to be packed to have about 60 or 70 people just for meeting. And we don't expect everybody in the community to leave what they do to come to community meeting. No, we don't expect everybody. But before we expect a participant or the attendance to be at least 60, 70. That's what you call community meeting, where people coming to represent from different sectional group. But this is my advice to the president and whoever going to be the next president. On your executive team, even if the person, because if you look at the constitution, let me go through this quick. The executive officer, right? You have the president, the vice president, the treasurer, the secretary, the assistant secretary, the financial secretary, the assistant financial secretary, and the chaplain. If I was the president, and this is the advice, maybe VK will take into strong consideration or another person that watching that might be the president. One of your assistant, either the assistant secretary or the assistant financial secretary, both of them should work. That job should be to make sure you have at least 50 people to a meeting. So that job is within at least a month or 3 weeks. They are calling around. They are reminding people. They are sending reminder. You know why?
Yeah.
We live in a business society. Even me, so now I can plan to be to the Liberian Association meeting, but guess what? Something can pop up, or because of oversight, I can forget.
Yeah.
And let me tell
I
you
do that too.
why is it good to call people to remind them. I work in retail collection, the Wells Fargo. Do you know why Wells Fargo spend money to call people? As a reminder, they got some customer. They don't like to be late on a bill. You call them for
Yeah.
they pay that
Yeah.
right away.
True.
Yeah.
They forget. And when you offer them to set up on auto pay, they happy. Those are the customer that you want to call for reminder. The reason they late on a bill is because they
They forget.
don't have time. They forget.
Yeah. Yeah.
Calling people is
My brother, I one of the person I can forget. Yeah, I can
So
forget.
Jerry, let
Yeah.
me tell you,
yeah.
I'm not cutting you off, right?
Mhm.
To make the meeting fun, right? We should do is you have refreshment to the meeting. You know where people can come and hang out and drink. You see, now everybody that going to the soccer field can play the soccer.
Yep.
Yeah.
After the
right.
soccer game, we all hang around drinking, chilling.
And children.
Yeah.
A lot of people can go in the FIFA.
Make
you
it
can
lively, make
you
it
can bring
fun.
that same idea to the meeting.
Mhm.
Okay. After a meeting, people chilling, lecturing, drinking, eating. Trust me, a lot of people come to the meeting.
And they don't want to go in.
Because
And also,
that
and
right.
also,
Yeah.
That you right. Every Saturday on the feed that people coming, the agent can carry barbecue there, you do a show.
Yeah.
We share that, you know what I'm saying? So you see, now you're right. You're right on that.
You
No,
think
no.
You're
that
right.
everybody can go to soccer field to go play soccer? No.
No.
I have
no,
get a play soccer for almost 12, 30 years. I just go to make my money.
Jesus, yeah.
But you know, it's
Hey,
just for the
Dada.
fun part of it. After the meeting, let's do something that make the meeting fun.
yeah,
Bring
that's
people to
true.
the meeting.
True.
Dada,
You know.
Dada,
Yeah.
that's a good suggestion. That's a very good suggestion. But the problem is with finance. Where would the money come from? Because one thing about it, if the administration start to provide food during meeting, the community dwellers will always expect it to continue. So
No, but it depends.
if the administration try to slack a little bit, then
I mean,
there come a problem.
listen.
Bobby,
We
Bobby,
can have
it
barbecue. We
depends.
can have
It
barbecue. Money
depends
come from
when
our own pocket, right?
mm.
Huh?
If now why you got your
Dada,
whole
you are
team,
mute.
so you can pick a team. Say
You are
okay,
not audible.
you come in bring huh? You hear me?
Can you guys hear Dada?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
we hearing that.
Okay, you
He
got your
said,
team.
yeah,
Or you
nobody.
come in tell the other team, please bring donut.
I'm
Okay,
not
bring
hearing you.
RS. Okay, bring
Let me
pop,
see. Yeah,
bring
yeah.
water.
No,
How much?
Yeah.
but
You
I'm
know?
not
but
even hearing you guys.
Yeah,
Dada,
yeah.
Can I?
Dada, you can hear me?
I'm hearing you.
Yeah, we hearing you.
No, but Dada, it depends too, right? The community,
Can you guys
all the
hear me?
organization.
We can
We
hear
can
you,
hear you,
AJ.
We
man.
can hear you. We can hear you, AJ.
Something happened to
My man, if you in
my
office,
audio.
you gotta sacrifice $10, $20 if you in
Let me double
office.
check it here.
But you know what I mean? It depends with the organization. How do you payment? If the organization paying due, if the organization want to do charity, buying drink, or it depends. If people paying that due, you know
Oh,
what I
okay.
mean? Even though individual can carry something, for me, I the kind of person, if I go somewhere, I always let to go somewhere, I get my little thing, in the car. You know what I'm saying? But there are other people not like that. Other people want you to remind them. But if the organization is very financial, there should be a problem. No pay
Yeah,
due, no pay out due. When I tell her every month or whatever a month or year, let people pay their dues. Then I leave the organization get let it in a cover, they will take some money for that. They buy a few resupplement store.
But
People come there and
but
have a
meeting
meeting.
are due.
And hear what I'm
Meeting
saying?
are due.
Yeah,
So if you come to the meeting having fun, at least $10 or $5, you'll be able to
yeah,
give.
yeah. That makes
So,
sense.
we get a lot of good suggestion, but let me squeeze my
Yeah,
question.
a lot of great suggestions coming. Again, this is why it's good. We get people involved, and because great ideas will come out, and out of this stuff, it revitalizes the organization. You
Yeah.
know, we need a lot of great young guys in our community to be active for the community again. Come out, bring your ideas because no man is an island when it comes to ideas. And and,
True.
and 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 a lot of people have a lot of good ideas. It would be good to have people around that can bring these ideas and let's see how we can work and make them happy and revitalize the community and make it better. I think people are coming together now. The last July 26 was a testament. I think if we can work that way, we can work back to a community that can do great stuff.
Thank you, guys.
Okay.
Before we end the show tonight, we started at 8. We've been on for 2 hours, 30 minutes. We'll be ending the next 20 minutes because we got to make some key announcement for tomorrow festival. But I got two questions for each of you guys. Then you'll give your parting statement. Then the person will be the last to give his parting statement. But I just want to go into the comment section here. We just want to read what Stanley say. I don't know if you guys want to opine on it. That's fine. So Stanley Flan say, AJ as a reporter or journalist may choose to take side on issues of community concern. That's not a problem. On the contrary, if he takes a biased stand, then it is unethical as a reporter and journalist. Anybody that want to respond to that?
He's right.
He's right. Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. So my second question here, the question start with Cyrus here. We'll go in line from Cyrus here to Dada. So Cyrus, what are you anticipating, or what is your prediction on the bowl deliberation or the bowl address to the community this Sunday? What are you anticipating on that investigation? How you think they're going to rule?
yeah. For me, the board meeting on Sunday, I believe that the board is going to come to the body and brings in a finding from that investigation, and that finding will be presented to the body, and I believe the body is going to make the final decision on the matter.
Thank you. Dada and you,
Yeah.
same question.
Yeah, I think we'll probably get a new election date. I'm second to the motion to him what he said.
Bobby, same question.
Yeah, we hope the board does the right thing because the board is constitutional to the constitution is the guide, to both the board and that of the community. So we just hope and pray. We can't judge. We can't envision what the board is going to do, but we pray and we hope that the board will do the right thing,
Yeah.
so that our community can get back to where it's supposed to be, We all envision a very good community, because once the community is good, it encourage other people to
So,
move
okay, come
in.
on.
It encourage
You
other
gotta
people to
do-
want to to migrate. So we just hope they both come up with the right thing and do the right thing on this coming meeting.
Thank you. Bobby, the same question. What is your anticipation of the board deliberation this weekend?
Like I said, I can't speak for the board. I don't know what decision they're going to come up with, but we hope the decision they are going to come up with should be in the interest of the body.
Thank you. And
Yeah.
Brian, same question.
Yeah, for me, hopefully they come out with a good discussion. They both should come out with good discussion. Everything should go smoothly. We need peace and understanding in the community. And one is again, I want to know, they both should tell us that why, uh, why they were allowed or candidate or presidential candidates to announce election postponement, and the election commission never postponed the election, but or candidates should postpone election. They should tell why. If that why, because we gotta know. We want to know as well. Okay, because up to now we never heard any postponement from the election commission. Okay, so it's a disgrace. It's a disrespect to we, the member, the voters. They did upon us some of our personal time. We came out there to vote. In less than 24 hours, we drove over there. I remember you were on live. You asked the commission, you said you had no idea. All you know, election is tomorrow. And we take our time, we went to vote. Nobody showed up. So let's let us know why, why. So, but all I want is peace in the community. Let us come together. That's what that's it.
Thank you. Mr. Cabo, the last time I spoke to the election commissioner was during the time of the debate when he made an announcement that the election is occurring the following day. After that, in the morning, I called him close to 25 times. He did not pick up. This is the man I communicate with me almost every time because he always called me to do business with him. And when he's not doing business with me, he called me to talk about community issue. So after that, he did not show up to the precinct. And from there, I allowed maybe a week to pass. A week, I called him. He picked up. He said, "Oh, JD, I'm at work. I'll call you back." He didn't call. I called him again. He didn't respond. But also, there's a news that's circulating that he resigned. Can you confirm that? You are not audible.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah, I've not received any resignation from the election commissioner chair or any member of that commission. I can't speak for the board if they have received any resignations from them, so I can't confirm or deny that. At least I can't confirm that he resigned. At this point,
When last you talked to him?
it's been probably right after the debate. I haven't spoken to him
You haven't
since then.
spoken. Okay. All right, gentlemen, we're going to give our closing statement. And this is what we want to do here is in our closing statement, you can talk about anything. If you have a business, you can use the opportunity to tell the audience of your business. The closing statement will be 3 to 4 minutes. You are welcome to say anything in your closing statement. If you want to talk less than 4 minutes, that's fine. But we're going to start with Brian.
Anyway, I just want to say thank you, AJ, for your hard work and your dedication in the community. You're doing great. I appreciate everything you're doing for the community. Thank you. And I also want to say thanks to the president. He's been very calm, humble. A man, he's a sociable man who love everybody. Everybody love him, man. He go there. Man, who said a cool guy. You know. So everybody, we just need peace in the community. Let us come together. If Minnesota can do it, we can do it. Something. If Minnesota can hold about it, they make it grand. We ourselves we can make it grand. The more have over 8,000 plus Liberians, we can pull everybody together. We can make it a social community. So let us lead it kind of I don't know what I would say. Let us lead all the kind of division in the community. Let us come together to make Liberia a great country. Because first of all, we that in the country, Liberian in the country depend on us. We can't be in America, we be Zogo. Because I heard someone where media saying that they got more Zogo in America than Liberia. So yeah. So
Whatever.
yes. So we can put ourselves together. So people in our collaborate to look at us. We can set an example, but we don't be fighting each other in a player. Then the people watching in abroad. Then there's a body people, like the same people. We remember Labura were calling out by organization. Well, we ACS, American Transitional Society, the organization get about independent. Okay, we can do the same thing. The same Labrador Association or however it can be the same. Black American or Black Africans, right? But if we're not together, how we will unite our country back home? So we got to make sure we unite ourselves together to make sure Labrador is better. Because we can start from here. So guys, you guys in leadership, you got to put yourself together. Let us make sure our community come together. We put people together and make sure the community be a great community. Haiba is very beautiful. Haiba is great. Let people not say Haiba is village. Let people say Haiba is sweet community. Haiba is beautiful. Haiba is good. So that's my my parting statement. And thanks big guy for everything. And I appreciate everything, AJ. Thank you.
Thank you, Brian. We appreciate that. Bobby, fired up. You got 3 to 4 minutes.
Yeah, guys, thanks for the time tonight or this evening. Yeah, tonight because of the time. Actually, such a conversation, it create an awareness in the community. Just coming on with topics that people can discuss and get involved in. And AJ, I also want to say thank you very much for what you have been doing. Having passion for something, I know what it takes. I have passion for music. Sometimes I use my labs to purchase musical instruments. And you have been doing that for quite a long time. You have been providing services to the community. You have been providing information to the community. I want to applaud you for that. You have been doing pretty well. I want to say thank you for everything. To our president, I want to say don't be deterred. Whatsoever that was meant to be is definitely going to be. And once the people are on your side, no matter what, other people may come up with, no matter what other people may think, it's not going to go their way because you have the people on your side. And to the election commission or the board, I also say that you guys should please come up with the right decision that would be in the interest of our community. We I travel a lot. I have been in a lot of states. Sometimes I've been to some other states where they be celebrating independence, and be doing other stuff. I see how they celebrate. We want that thing for our community too. In order for us to have that, we need to have the right leadership into place. We need to have people who will be available or who will be wanting to serve our community willingly. Because these things that these people do, they are doing it voluntarily. They are not being paid for that. They're taking time from their family, from their friends, from their relative, from their business schedule. If they're supposed to do overtime, to add money to their family, and we're supposed to have meeting, or the community is supposed to have meeting. They know that the community is supposed to have meeting, so they are taking money from their family. So if they are providing their services to our community so we can have a better community, we as the community dwellers also we need to put in what we need to make our community a better one. So that's just my closing. I want to say, guys, thank you for the time tonight. It was a great conversation, and I think after the election, this should not be our last time. We should also, be able to talk about community more because as our watching, we had about over 15, 20 people watching. So whatever discussion we had here, people hear these things, So that's just what I wanted to say. Thank you guys for the time.
All right. Thank you very much, here, Bobby. That I fired up.
All right. I mean, JD, AJ, thank you for the show. Thank you, President, for coming on. For me, I'm a peacemaker. The last time I went out a little high on your field, I was picking stuff, or I was all about peace. All about keeping the community together.
I heard that you joined forces with Papi Jean.
No,
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 le mambo PJ over there.
no, 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 no. They feel that I was not a troublemaker. Like I seen this in the past, and we were heading that route. I didn't want her to go that route. You know what? Will just come and then disturb, and then people start doing their own thing. So, I mean, as the president, you see the president's a calm man. Let's be calm. Let's go over there with open mind. We shouldn't go out there and say, today, power, I go there. Anything they say, we'll support this. We shouldn't carry that mindset. Yeah.
I
Let's
know,
get an
right?
open mindset and go resolve. Let's go there to go resolve issue, not to go make issue worse. Yeah, we go there. We all our families. We all, we all chill together in the community. We all, know each other. There's no reason for all to bring hate between us. There's no reason for that. No space for that. The community, if you want to lead, if you bring people here together, who you gonna lead now? If the community splits. So I'm begging you guys, I'm begging everybody, those that are listening, I'm begging, you know, we are waiting on the election commission, the board, to see what they're gonna say. We'll see what they're gonna say at the meeting. We all can, the ballot is majority. We all can, we're not certified whatever the board come out with, we can vote them out and select new board. So we shouldn't go out there with a mindset of going argue and going sporting, because if people that want a sport team to go there and sport team, but you that want peace, that want to lead the community, go there with open mindset, go there for peace. Because when people just want to sport team, they'll just go there. Don't mind those people. So you gotta go there. And then on the second hand, thanks all of you for coming. My name is Dada. People call me King Dada.
The loan man.
Loan officers, I do a payday loan. Sometimes your husband not reach, your mortgage not reach. You can hit. Yeah, we all go through that situation,
Yeah.
So I can alley up, I give you a month to pay back. I get enough
That's
time,
good.
promote my business,
Yep.
So thanks again. Yeah.
And guys, I can be honest to you guys. I'm one of the living testimonials.
Why are you putting your own privacy out now?
Exactly. No, but I'm an honest man. That my man. I promote a little before I promote a service. I gotta utilize the service.
It's true.
Thank you, Dada. Let's hear from Sarah. Then we welcome Jiggins and Augustus.
Yeah, no, I'm a strong supporter of the president, right?
Go ahead.
Yeah. The president already said I should be there, and I'm encouraging those who believe in the president should be at that meeting. No matter if the poll called, once the president maintained to be there, we should be there. So I'm encouraging those who believe in the leadership of the president, we should all come together. You already said it, we should be there. So let us be there. Another thing is that I had a few recommendations concerning the meeting when we're discussing the meeting issue, but I never bring it out on concerning Liberian who are in other part of Iowa and not in Des Moines. I've received series of issue from that. How can they be a part of the meetings? Because if I live in Cedar Rapids, if I live in Waterloo, I don't have to drive to Des Moines to come and be a part of a meeting. And as a concern, there's only one Liberian Association of Iowa they have. They don't have Eastern, Western Liberian Association of Iowa that I know of. So how can these people partake and be a part of the meeting? We're all driving to Des Moines.
Are you?
But the president, that's question for the president. But you're gonna answer it to a closing statement. But me tell me my closing statement. Okay. AJ, thank you so much for today's conversation. It was very helpful. We need this kind of conversation in our community. The kind of thing is very good. Please try to continue it so that we can come up here and give our views on issues and things that affect our community. So I want to say thank you for the show for tonight. And I'm also encouraging our young people to be a part of things that go on in the community. I was one person that I lived in Iowa for 9 years. I did not take part anything about community issue. I go to job from job, come home with my family. That was my life. But when you live in a community and things happen, if you don't take a part in it or take action, you're not making impact. So I encourage those who say, "Oh, la protein, come on, board and be a part of the community, be a part of decision making. Bring your ideas that we can make the community a better place. Thank you.
Thank you, Pastor Cyrus. We appreciate that.
Yeah, AJ, making my closing statement now.
Yeah.
No, before the president go.
Prezo, you will be the last to give your closing statement. Please exercise our patience.
Okay,
And
I don't.
Yeah, go ahead. Let's welcome quick here Jenkins and Augusta. They will make 5 to 7 minute remark. Because they came late here and they will include our closing statement into it. So Jenkins would like to welcome you here. Jenkins, there were some questions here asked here to the president. The board is calling for a meeting. The president is adhering to that. I guess he broke the news on doing his address to the people today. I thought his leadership were calling for the meeting, but the board is calling for the meeting. So I'm kind of a little bit hesitant that okay, if the board playing cat and mouse game and we'll go to that meeting, who preside over the meeting? The board have a hidden agenda. The president don't know the agenda of tomorrow. What say you?
okay, thank you for having me on. Thanks to the rest of the guests. I am little bit. I was driving. I'm coming from Ottawa while watching you. I was a little bit disappointed, and I said this to Jeff last time I was on show, and I'm a little bit disappointed at you too, AJ. You media personnel, you guys are the spokesperson for the voiceless. So what we expected you to do tonight, you did not do that. What most of your audience is expecting is to ask the president some tough questions that some of them will not have the opportunity to be here, but you didn't do that.
Yeah, we
So
did.
every time you, no, I'm coming. We're not arguing. I watched you throughout. You team up with the president tonight to answer when you ask the question. You yourself, what you did was asking the questions look like you're teaming up with the president. You already answer the question, and then you let the president to elaborate. I watched the show from
But
start.
go ahead and
I'm coming. So I will just land. Just give me a minute. So I was a little bit disappointed. So when you bring the president on your show, I said the same thing to Jeff the other day. When you bring the people on your show, we are expecting you guys to draw some tough questions. At least you, the media person, has some 10 tough questions. Those questions, your audience, some of them might have them in mind. They will not have the opportunity. Not plenty of people, not all of them want to come on live. Or not some of them. Not most of them will even like to write a comment. But your question to those people, they will just sit there, whether they are in their houses, at work. Yes, that's the kind of question that was in my heart. And AJ just asked that question. And when you ask that question, you're going to live by let the president throw light on those questions. What you did tonight, you team up with the president. You guys are human beings like us. It's true. But the media is there to answer, to represent the voiceless people that are not able to speak, people that are not able to come on show, that are unable to even write message or comment on your show. So we are expecting you to draw maybe about 10 or 15 questions of your own, some tough questions. You're bringing president on, or the vice president, community leader on. You are coming to put them in the hot seat. I don't care how you agree with them on some topics or situation or something you guys agree. I don't care. You have to lay that down one side and say you're about to represent the community. You're about to speak for them. So you're gonna put a president in some hot seat, but we didn't see that tonight. I'm disappointed. So why you brought the president on and you are there to defend and answer his question, then you tell him to elaborate. Why is he here?
all
Why
right,
is he on your show?
Jenkins, thank you for your concern, but the topic of the show tonight was the president to address the community. It was a prime time address. The president did not take too long to address it. He took like 5 7 minutes. I expected him to take maybe like 15 20 minutes, but it seemed that his address was pretty much cut short. So because his address was cut short, we decided to dive into a discussion and keep it on. If the address was going to be like 30 40 minutes, we're going to take him off and bring an analysis or keep it on and have the other people asking questions. But his address was like 7 minutes, 7 to 8 minutes. So we decided to dive into the community discussion and have
Yeah, but
but
you have the opportunity.
with due
Sorry.
respect, I respect your concern and I appreciate your constructive criticism. We call that constructive. But I will allow you now to open, ask the president
All
question.
right. Thank you. But well, I mean, you guys are going pretty much at the end. You
No,
guys
it's
are pretty
okay.
much at the end. So I don't think it's necessary right now. We're pretty much close. I wanted to be on earlier. I wanted to caution you first and actually started. I have a lot of questions to ask, but it pretty much closed. So what I will do tonight, I will those that are thinking why the board called a meeting. Yes, the board can call meeting and channel that through the president. Mandate the president here go ahead because the president had the power to call the meeting. So the board, since the board done, the board can actually pass that message to the president to call the community in a meeting, especially when we are at this kind of situation we are in right now, emergency. So the board can channel a message through the president to call the meeting, and that is right. And at that meeting, the board can also preside over that meeting as well as the president. Both of them can do that because the message from the board also we have some lot of unanswered questions, will answer most of us questions, and some of us have to ask them. We will be opportune to ask them. So the board also has the right to preside over the meeting that day. So I have nothing. Pretty much what I came here for is definitely to caution you. I did Jeff the same thing the last time. It's like you are biased. You are a media person. We understand you guys have side to play. You have side to take it's true. But when you're a media person, you're also speaking for the community. You are speaking for those that are just watching you, or ever to write, or ever to come on your show. So you have to ask those people the tough question. Forget about your feelings. You're representing a lot of people out here. You have over 15, 20 people watching you. You're representing those people that are not coming on the show. You'll forget about the side you're taking and represent the people that are out there. Put the president in hot seat. Whoever community leader on your show, you have to. You never even ask any question tonight. You were just there to throw light. You ask a question, answer it, then you tell the president, elaborate on what I said already. So the show was just weak. I was pretty much about to leave the show. So that's all I came here for.
Thank you.
Thank you, and to all of you, God bless you.
You are entitled to your observation, but I don't think the show was weak. Number one, and also I don't think that I asked all the question necessary question. But like I said, you are entitled to it, and thank you for that observation and your constructive criticism, and we will take things into consideration as needed. Thank you, Mr. Zawi and Mr. Talu. Go ahead. You have 5 to 7 minutes. And I'm sorry that you and Zawi came late because the show was scheduled for 2 hours and a half, and now we took 3 hours. So we can't really prolong. So we just give you 5 to 7 minutes. So go ahead, sir.
Well, I first of all, I want to apologize to the audience.
But we cannot hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Much better. Do not blow me. Come closer.
But man, you from Blow Vietnam, not me. Jimmy, Jimmy, Jimmy just put you on the hot bench.
Yeah, Jimmy is.
By the way, my man, I just came from work late, so I don't even have time. I just, wanted uh, to say that, you know, the president is actually doing what it takes to continue. Uh, I would say peace. I think it's a good thing because uh, the Liberian Association, regardless of how we see it or how we think, the objective of the Liberian Association is to continue to bring Liberian people together. That is the number one objective. And part of the reason why is also because that uh, we experienced a lot of war back home. So we came to this country, we organized ourselves to have peace and unity among ourselves. So the goal is to continue to have peace and to have respect and to work alongside with each other. So I get why the president is doing so. I concur with him, but I'm also disappointed in the bull front. Uh, what they have done, the bull has proving they are proving that they are incompetent. Uh, it's been over 2 weeks. The bull have been over 2 weeks, and we have not have any facts. There was no facts. There was no uh, conviction, convicted uh, evidence against the leader, against the president. There was nothing at all. So, so the question becomes, why is the board is delaying to respond to the Liberian people? Because the board does not answer to the president, but the board answer to the Liberian people, to all those 781 people that registered to vote, those people that take off from work, those people that lost money, those people that left church early, those folks that left their churches early because they wanted to come and vote. Those that did not go to work because they had a duty to come to vote. Uh, like me, I didn't spend time with my son because I had to take him to his mom, to have to take him back, even though he's an adult, but I didn't spend the time I needed to spend with him. Uh, those are the people that the board should answer to. Uh, you know, uh, they both cause a lot of disturbances among uh, among the Liberian people here. So they will have to come up with a tangible or substantial reason why they cancel this elections. They will have to explain to the Liberian people whether it was the right thing to do to actually uh, cancel the election. They will have to explain to us what's the role of the election commissioner. Uh, was the election commissioner incapable of executing that, or they just decided to abruptly cancel the election because of ego, or they will have to explain to us whether the president posed an imminent danger to the Liberian people. They will have to explain to us whether Valiaku actually posed an imminent danger to the Liberian people, and that was the reason why they had to cancel the election. But if they cannot prove, if they cannot convince the people, those 781 people, I think there should be a consequence. There should be a backlash through the Lord, because when I did my research, I know that 15 people, not hardly 15 people, voted for the bull. And when you have 781, that's too much mandate for someone who was voted in with 15 people to cancel that kind of election. That should means that it should be a life and death before you cancel those kind of elections. You must have, when I say actionable evidence, actionable. That's the only way you can cancel this kind of election. So all the Liberian people are concrete explanations. They all there are concrete. They need to come up with a reasonable doubt why they cancel the elections. If they cannot come up with that, if they cannot come up with a reason why they cancel the election, I think the leadership, the chairman of the board, the co-chairman, the secretary, they will have to pay the price. Because I'm actually disappointed in Fred Sewell. I have great respect for him, very great respect for him. If you're listening, I'm highly disappointed in you, highly disappointed in the leadership of the board, because they did not put the Liberian people first. They did not put the entire community, the health of the Liberian people first. They did not put the interests of the Liberian people first. And so we will talk to the Liberian people. We will give them this Sunday, and let's see what they have. If they cannot bring anything substantial, I believe there should be a consequence. There should be no turning back. There should be a consequence, because they violated the people, they violated us, they violated the entire Liberian community. A lot of people lost money. A lot of people didn't go to work. Some people didn't go to church. Some people didn't spend time with their family because of that elections. Some people travel. They came from Waterloo. Some people came from Muscatine. They traveled and they did not vote because few guys decided to cancel this election. I'm just trying to narrate or trying to what's the word that I should use? Conscientize them, that general word, and conscientize them, to let them know that this coming Sunday, all cards is on decks. Everything they should bring all that evidence, everything we need to know, everything. If they cannot come up with that substantial evidence, I believe they should lose their positions. They should be dissolved. I strongly believe they should be dissolved if they cannot come up with something tangible. But again, Mr. Hawks, I want to say thank you for the show. I just came from work. I want to say I didn't listen to the president, but I didn't listen to all the things that he said. But I think the president decided to give the bull a chance. Let's see what the bull is going to say. Let's give them the respect. But they need to come clean. That is all I can tell them. They need to come clean.
Thank you.
If they cannot come clean, we will take action.
All right. Thank you to you and Mr. Zawi. You came in late, but thank you very much. You're always been always outspoken individuals, and always you guys are allowed to be on the show anytime. And like I said, I am open to criticism as needed. And the president now going to give his closing remarks to the committee. Thank you, Mr. Zawi, and thank you, Mr. Talu. I will be talking to you guys soon.
Okay, thank you, boss.
All right.
Bye.
Okay, so VK.
Yeah. Thank you, my dear brother, and
Yeah, go
thank
ahead.
you again for hosting me on the show. Uh, Again, I want to say thank you to Liberians in Iowa for listening to us. Um, as I said again from the beginning, we are here. We want to make sure that our community is moving forward. We've worked over the last 2 years to bridge the gap in the community, to bring people together. We're seeing these results coming. We're seeing a lot of people taking interest in the community, and we are determined to make that happen. Make no mistakes. I'm very confident in who I am as a person, and I believe very strongly the board have seen irrefutable evidence to exonerate me. This is not something that I'm just saying. There's something that was shown. There's evidence that are there. I would not participate in any of those ridiculous mudslinging and other things people are doing. I don't believe that. This community, we all gotta live here, and I will continue to be myself. I don't do anything based on what other people does. There's not my actions and reactions are not based on other people's actions and reactions. So we are happy to be on the show. We just want to come and make some clarity. We are not here to castigate anybody or any person. That's not our place. But we want to come on the show and say, look, this is where we're at. This is how we're leading this community, and this is what we are trying to do. Sunday is here. The board is coming up with their findings. The community is there, and we'll be participating there. We want to make sure this community move forward. Our goal is to go to elections. The elections, all we have to do is to cast our ballot. The only team that is confident in winning this election is obviously my team. But again, as I said, we are living in a community. We have to live in this community. I do not believe that we should tear everybody down before we live in a peaceful community. There should be some adults in the room. There are some people in the room that have to say, well, guys, we're not participating in that. But again, we are happy with our progress, with our team. The board is the board. They have their own deliberations. I would not speak for them, and I would not make comments on on what they're doing. The community has spoken. I relay that information to the board. That's my job. I want to thank you for having us on the show again, AJ. Thank you for the work you do in the community. You know, this community belongs to everybody, and we all have to take some level of responsibility for what happens in this community. So I want for people to continue to be civil, for people to continue to be calm. We're going to address these issues, and we're going to resolve these issues and go to elections. So thank you, everybody. You guys have a good night, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your night.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you for taking time off your busy schedule to be here today. I know the show was scheduled for an hour here, but we pretty much held you for at least additional 2 more hours. That's what it takes to be a community leader. You got to exercise patience. You got to
That's
be
right.
actable. You got to be flexible. Yeah, because you work for the people. You
That's
volunteer
right.
your time to the people. You even supposed to be at work on the road right now, but you've been home for the past, almost in 2 3 weeks. And yeah, we'd like to say thank you very much. Yeah, we look forward. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't want it to waste my time. Coming to that meeting because I feel that that meeting might, I might lose my composure, and I will say I might, but I will pretty much try to keep my composure. All my men are gonna be there, Gustos, Jenkins, all my other JD are gonna be there. So I will pretty much exercise calmness. Even in my deliberation, my body language, I will try to control it. Yeah, yeah. But it is a vital meeting. We will be there. We will be there to represent, to report, and also to voice our opinion as a
That's right.
citizen. So, and I just want to let people know that that's what I do. I represent the community. I also, I'm a citizen of the community. So I pretty much, have concerns on some issues. Yeah. But hey, but thank you, my friend. Extend our salutation. You look sleepy. Get some work. I'll rest, and I see you to the festival tomorrow. I'm gonna
Yeah,
make.
I'll be at a festival tomorrow, so I'll be out there. I'll probably go to practice ground for a little bit too. I haven't practiced. So I'll try to get to the practice and run around for a little bit and then go to the festival.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
That's what we'll do. but yeah, but we'll be to the
Uh,
festival in
all
full
right.
here. Thank you.
All right. Good night.
All right, good night. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to just I don't know if you guys can hear me. I think my screen is a little bit just froze on me here, but I hope you guys can hear me. And but just want to talk about the festival a little bit before we end this segment for tonight. All right, so just wanted to run a quick ad here on the festival for tomorrow. Tomorrow going to be your African in Iowa for Empowerment Festival. So let me see if I can bring it on the big screen tonight, and we gonna hear from we're gonna hear from the chairman herself here, Madam Mercy Issa. She's the chairman, and she will talk about the festival here. So let's see here. I'm trying to bring it on the screen here, and just a 3-minute video here where she talking to the community, inviting the community to come to this Africans in Iowa for Empowerment. Okay, so we're gonna put her on the screen for a little bit here. Let's see here. Let's do some editing here quick before we put Mercy on the screen. Then so all right, so bear with us here. All right, so bear with us here. We just want to make sure that you guys hear her loud and clear here. So kind of a little bit. Bear with me here. All right, let's try another way here. But it's a special announcement here from the festival cheerleading. So let me see here. Bear with me here, folks. This is a very important announcement. Very, very important.
Winner from the soccer match is going to take home $500.
Wow. Can
And
you
so this
repeat
is
that? Can you repeat that?
$500 for the winners that will win for the football match.
All right, let's start this.
And we also have the best dress going to take home $75. And guess what? The winners from the football team and the best dressed African person, we will showcase them on our Facebook page and on our website. You're going to be there for the whole year until next year festival.
Oh wow! So this event starts this coming Saturday, and you are inviting the entire African community in Des Moines, Iowa, and friends from Africa as well, right?
Absolutely.
All right, so folks,
There, everyone.
let's start here. Let's start this segment here. Here, this is an announcement here from AFI President Madam Issa. So let's hear her do her thing.
This is Mercy Issa with Africans in Iowa for Empowerment. I'm inviting everyone to come in and join us to celebrate Africa. As you know, AFI, we do a lot of stuff. We do a lot of progressive stuff with our organization. We have a computer literacy program where we offer free computer classes to people who wants to learn about the computer. And secondly, we have programs with a library for kids who wants to read, and we also have other parents who wants to learn English. There are so many programs that we got coming up. But this weekend is going to be one of the best. So we're asking you to dress up in your African attire and win the prize. We have football matches. We're going to have food of all kinds. We're going to have people dancing. We're going to have people playing games and everything. So we're asking you to come and be a part of this festival that we're going to be having on Saturday. Again, this is what I'm telling you. Come and let us celebrate Africa. This is not just for one African country, but for all of the African countries. Come and meet new people. Come and make friends with other people that you will be seeing in the community. Again, we'll see you on Saturday, August 19 at the Evelyn K. Davis Park.
And what are some of the activities this coming Saturday?
Well, we're going to have football match. Football matches actually.
The soccer, right?
We're going to have soccer matches. We're going to have kids games. We're going to have adult playing Lulu, checkers, and just chess and card games. It's just going to be a complete fun day, and we're going to have varieties of food. And people who have businesses will come in and sell what they have. Other people with businesses want to do a showcase for the business. They can come and set up the tent and then show what they have to offer to the community.
And I also heard we're going to have a cultural performance.
Well, we are looking forward to having cultural performance as well. Yes, we're going to have kids dressed up in their African attire and cultural outfits to come in and perform in the meantime.
And how much for the doing the soccer match? How much the winner will take home?
That's a very good question. The winner from the soccer match is going to take home $500.
Wow! Can you repeat that? Can you repeat that?
$500 for the winners that will win for the football match. And we also have the best dress going to take home $75. And guess what? The winners from the football team and the best dressed African person, we will showcase them on our Facebook page and on our website. You're going to be there for the whole year until next year festival.
Oh, wow. So this event starts this coming Saturday, and you are inviting the entire African community in Des Moines, Iowa, and friends from Africa as well, right?
Absolutely.
Yep. And what time it starts?
We are calling on everyone to come in and set up at 7 o'clock in the morning.
That's early.
Tents. Because a lot of people are coming to sell.
Yeah.
So come and set up your tent if you're going to be selling food and doing your businesses and stuff. But the main program, we're going to begin that at 9 o'clock, where we're going to recognize all the African countries. We're going to also ask Africans that are in Iowa from other countries to come in and make a comment and say something about what country they're from and how they see that the organization or the festival is going, just so we can be able to have that unity again.
Okay. Anything else?
Again, come out, have fun. There will be a lot of food. So come in and let's have fun and let us all meet together, all the Africans. Come in and meet Liberians, Sudanese, Cameroonian, Togo, people from Togo, from the Ivory Coast, from Guinea, from Burundi, from Senegal. I mean, pretty much everywhere. So we're looking up to the Kenyans and all to come in and let us join together and celebrate Africa.
See you this Saturday.
There you go.
Thank you.
Hey there, everyone. This is Mercy Issa with Advocates in Iowa for Empowerment. I'm inviting everyone to come in and join us to celebrate Africa. As you know, AFI, we do a lot of stuff. We do a lot of progressive stuff with our organization. We have a computer literacy program where we offer free computer classes to people who wants to learn about the computer. And secondly, we have programs with a library for kids who wants to read. And we also have other parents who wants to learn English. There's so many programs that we've got coming up. But this weekend is going to be one of the best. So we're asking you to dress up in your African attire and win the prize. We have football matches. We're going to have food of all kinds. We're going to have people dancing. We're going to have people playing games and everything. So we're asking you to come and be a part of this festival that we're going to be having on Saturday. Again, this is what I'm telling you. Come and let us celebrate Africa. This is not just for one African country, but for all of the African countries. Come and meet new people. Come and make friends with other people that you will be seeing in the community. Again, we'll see you on Saturday, August 19 at the Evelyn K. Davis Park.
And what are some of the activities this coming Saturday?
Well, we're going to have football match. Football matches actually.
The soccer, right?
We're going to have soccer matches. We're going to have kids games. We're going to have adult playing Lulu, checkers, and just chess and card games. It's just going to be a complete fun day, and we're going to have varieties of food, and people who have businesses will come in and sell what they have. Other people with businesses want to do a showcase for the business. They can come and set up the tent and then show what they have to offer to the community.
And I also heard we're going to have a cultural performance.
Well, we are looking forward to having cultural performance as well. Yes, we're going to have kids dressed up in their African attire and cultural outfits to come in and perform in the meantime.
And how much for the doing the soccer match? How much the winner will take home?
That's a very good question. The winner from the soccer match is going to take home $500.
Wow! Can you repeat that? Can you repeat that?
$500 for the winners that will win for the football match. And we also have the best dress going to take home $75. And guess what? The winners from the football team and the best dressed African person, we will showcase them on our Facebook page and on our website. You're going to be there for the whole year until next year festival.
Oh wow! So this event starts this coming Saturday, and you are inviting the entire African community in Des Moines, Iowa, and friends from Africa as well, right?
Absolutely.
Yep. And
We're
what time
inviting
it
everyone.
starts?
We are calling on everyone to come in and set up at 7 o'clock in the morning.
That's
Have your
early.
tents. You can, because a lot of people are coming to sell.
Yeah.
So come and set up your tent if you're going to be selling food and doing your businesses and stuff. But the main program, we're going to begin that at 9 o'clock, where we're going to recognize all the African countries. We're going to also ask Africans that are in Iowa from other countries to come in and make a comment and say something about what country they're from and how they see that the organization or the festival is going, just so we can be able to have that unity again.
Okay. Anything else?
Again, come out, have fun. There will be a lot of food. So come in and let's have fun and let us all meet together, all the Africans. Come in and meet Liberians, Sudanese, Cameroonian, Togo, people from Togo, from the Ivory Coast, from Guinea, from Burundi, from Senegal. I mean, pretty much everywhere. So we're looking up to the Kenyans and all to come in and let us join together and celebrate Africa.
See you this Saturday.
There you go.
Thank you.
Hey there, everyone. This is Mercy Issa with Advocates in Iowa for Empowerment. I'm inviting everyone to come in and join us to celebrate Africa. As you know, AFI, we do a lot of stuff. We do a lot of progressive stuff with our organization. We have a computer literacy program where we offer free computer classes to people who wants to learn about the computer. And secondly, we have program with a library for kids who wants to read. And we also have other parents who wants to learn English. There are so many programs that we got coming up. But this weekend is going to be one of the best. So we're asking you to dress up in your African attire and win the prize. We have football matches. We're going to have food of all kinds. We're going to have people dancing. We're going to have people playing games and everything. So we're asking you to come and be a part of this festival that we're going to be having on Saturday. Again, this is what I'm telling you. Come and let us celebrate Africa. This is not just for one African country, but for all of the African countries. Come and meet new people. Come and make friends with other people that you will be seeing in the community. Again, we'll see you on Saturday, August 19th at the Evelyn K. Davis Park.
And what are some of the activities this coming Saturday?
Well, we're going to have football matches, actually.
The soccer, right?
We're going to have soccer matches. We're going to have kids games. We're going to have adults playing Lulu, checkers, and just chess and card games. It's just going to be a complete fun day, and we're going to have varieties of food, and people who have businesses will come in and sell what they have. Other people with businesses want to do a showcase for the business. They can come and set up the tent and then show what they have to offer to the community.
And I also heard we're going to have a cultural performance.
Well, we are looking forward to having cultural performance as well. Yes, we're going to have kids dressed up in their African attire and cultural outfits to come in and perform in the meantime.
And how much for the doing the soccer match? How much the winner will take home?
That's a very good question. The winner from the soccer match is going to take home $500.
Wow! Can you repeat that?
$500 for the winners that will win for the football match. And we also have the best dress going to take home $75. And guess what? The winners from the football team and the best dressed African person, we will showcase them on our Facebook page and on our website. You're going to be there for the whole year until next year festival.
Oh wow! So this event starts this coming Saturday, and you are inviting the entire African community in Des Moines, Iowa, and friends from Africa as well, right?
Absolutely.
Yep. And what time it starts?
We are calling on everyone to come in and set up at 7 o'clock in the morning.
That's early.
Tents. Because a lot of people are coming to sell.
Yeah.
So come and set up your tents if you're going to be selling food and doing your businesses and stuff. But the main program, we're going to begin that at 9 o'clock, where we're going to recognize all the African countries. We're going to also ask Africans that are in Iowa from other countries to come in and make a comment and say something about what country they're from and how they see that the organization or the festival is going, just so we can be able to have that unity again.
Okay. Anything else?
Again, come out, have fun. There will be a lot of food. There will be a lot of food. So come in and let's have fun and let us all meet together, all the Africans. Come in and meet Liberians, Sudanese, Cameroonian, Togo, people from Togo, from the Ivory Coast, from Guinea, from Burundi, from Senegal. I mean, pretty much everywhere. So we're looking up to the Kenyans and all to come in and let us join together and celebrate Africa.
See you this Saturday.
There you go.
Thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen. All right, folks. Well, thank you very much for tuning in tonight. We appreciate that here. Thanks to all our guests. Thanks to Mr. Valiaku Karbo, President of the Liberian Association of Iowa. Thanks to the panelists. We appreciate that. Thanks to the viewers. We also appreciate your time. All comments are taken into consideration. You are entitled to opine. It is your liberty to free speech and freedom of the press and anything. You know, you are at liberty to do so. So thank you, and that this make our show. They improve our show here, and we appreciate that. Anything and also, don't forget to donate. The number is 515-326-1905. That's the Cash App. And continue to donate to help improve the network. Thanks to all our participants. Once again, you have a blessed night. We see you at the festival. We see you at the festival tomorrow. Tomorrow is the African festival. You just heard from Mercy Isa. And this is the flyer here. That's the flyer here as well. Let me see here. Just want to put a flyer on the side and talk about it. All right, but this is the flyer here. And thank you very much here. So we will see you guys and tomorrow at the festival. We'll be reporting live from the IFI Festival. Thanks. God bless you. And let not your hearts be troubled. Always continue to make the difference and make impact in your community, in human lives. And this life we live, we are just here visiting, but you want to leave a mark. When you die, you don't want to die with your dream. You want to die with memories. You don't want to die, oh, I envision doing this. No, you want to die with legacy. Okay. So, hey, folks, thank you very much. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Good night.